Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello-y, my name is Loey, and what a wild ride of a year it has been. Truly flashed by in the blink of an eye while simultaneously feeling like it lasted an entire decade within itself. And today, to celebrate, I am back with you guys for our 100 scariest TikToks of the year. Now, in previous years, I've had to do this as like a part 1, part 2 because my laptop could not handle it, but guess who got a new laptop? So today, we're gonna be taking a look at the 100 scariest videos of 2025. The scary side of TikTok is so special to me. I've had such a blast with this series. So I hope you have a few hours set aside to get spooked. But before we get into it, I do have to tell you a truly terrifying fact. There may just be a data broker out there somewhere right now selling your information to the highest bidder. Whether it's scammers or stalkers, these data brokers don't care that they're putting your personal privacy at risk by having your personal information available for the right price. That's where today's sponsor, Aura, comes in. They do the heavy lifting by contacting the data brokers on your behalf and requesting the takedown of your information. While legally they do have to remove this information at your request, these data brokers make it purposefully time-consuming and difficult to get the job done. But don't worry, Aura will not let up until your information is safe and secure. With Aura, you also get real-time fraud alerts for credit and banking, as well as alerts if your information shows up on the dark web, as well as 24/7 monitoring to help keep your information secure. They also have a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and more, all for one low monthly price. So try Aura for free for 14 days when you go to aura.com/LoeyLane. That should be enough time to see if your information has been compromised, and Aura will get to work putting these data brokers in their place. Once again, that's aura.com/LoeyLane. Thank you so much to Aura for sponsoring this video. This is a product I use in my everyday life, and it gives me a ton of peace of mind, so I know you guys will love it too. And now, I really hope you are all ready for the 2 some odd hours of paranormal and scary and creepy TikToks that you are about to enjoy. It's become a bit of a yearly tradition for me to take a look back at the scariest videos of the year, to watch my own stuff back and pluck out the things I found the most interesting, the most scary, the ones that just sort of got my brain turning a little, you know? But it also just feels like a celebration of the channel and everything that we have watched together over the year, and it means so much to me that you are still here, whether you just started watching in 2025 or you've been here with me from the beginning, you know, over a decade ago. It means the world to me, and I appreciate you so very much. And without any further ado, let's get into these scary TikToks together.
Okay, y'all, I'm kind of spooked. Let me tell y'all what's been going on with me.
TikTok user Thecandacedior is no stranger to paranormal activity, but even she was understandably terrified when one night her son would not stop talking about the monster in his bedroom. I know, standard kid stuff, right? Like, why would you be afraid of the monster your child says that he sees? But the story is really, really weird. So she goes into her son's room one night, says, you know, good night, time to go to bed. And he says to her, "Mommy, will you make the monster in my room leave?" She does her best, but he's like, "We need to call in reinforcements, okay? The monster's not leaving." They go downstairs to get his father. And as they're doing that, he suddenly stops and he's like, "The monster just left."
So I get my son out the bed, right? And we're getting ready to walk. We're walking out of his room. And he was like, "The monster just left." Like, literally just like that. And I'm like, "Well, where did he go?" And he was like, "He went out the room." And I said, okay. I go downstairs and we go get my husband. We come back. Now we're both in his room, right? We're all 3 of us are in there. And my husband is like, you know, playing along, like telling the monster to leave. Like, "You need to leave. I'm gonna beat you up." And, you know, just playing along. So my son is just like, okay. So I don't know if when we walked out the room and he said that the thing, whatever it is, walked out too and didn't come back. I don't know, but my son was just like, okay. The next morning, when I went in his room to go get him, he had the blanket completely over his head. I said, okay, my baby is scared because he's never done that, right? I'm like, okay. But he didn't say anything. He didn't mention it.
But then over the following couple of weeks, her son would just from time to time mention this monster. And she said that this fear was different. Like, this is her son truly terrified by something he is seeing.
So a few nights ago, me and my husband are laying in the bed and my son and my middle daughter were downstairs. He comes dashing up the stairs, like running up the stairs, and he's terrified, like shaking. And he's like, Mommy, the monster won't stop looking at me. And I'm like, I said, baby, like, remember, there's no monster. We made the monster go. He was like, no, he's downstairs. Like, I've never seen him like this, right? So he gets in the bed, like, literally tucks himself under my husband, like, under the blanket, and is just like, won't move. I'm a believer, right? I've heard things with my own ears and I've seen things with my own eyes. And anyone who knows me knows that my mom's house is, it be some freaky shit. It be some extraterrestrial paranormal shit going in my mama's house, right? So anytime anyone tells me that they've experienced something paranormal, I believe them. So I'm believing my son. So like now I'm just like, okay, what is going on, y'all?
While this one didn't have any like paranormal footage or anything like that, the story was so unsettling, and I understand that kids have overactive imaginations. I understand that not everything that they say is scaring them in the middle of the night is going to be a ghost. But I also think that kids kind of have this like ability to experience things that very jaded adults cannot. It's almost like we gain this sort of like spiritual ego, is how I've always heard it described. Like we almost put a veil in front of our own eyes as we get older and learn things like logic and reasoning and why things may not be, I don't know, metaphysical. You know what I mean? I've always heard it explained that way, and I just feel like parents know best. And so if that's what her baby is seeing, and that's what she is saying as well, you know, that this is not like her son, this seems like weirder and darker and scarier, I believe her. The next TikTok is from Celinaspookyboo. Now, Celina does make videos from time to time about the paranormal activity in her home. But as she explains it, she doesn't talk about it often, as it seems to almost make it worse. Well, recently, she had an experience she couldn't ignore.
I don't talk about the ghosts in my house very much because the more I talk about them, the more it happens. I hadn't talked about them in months. Nothing had happened. The other day I had a friend over. We got talking about it. Things got weird. Woke up this morning and this door, going into a bathroom, into an office, was open. Just chilling my birds out to death. Okay, then we're laying in bed. We're like, huh, that's really weird. So I have a bidet toilet. Listen what happens when you walk near it. That only happens if you walk near it. The toilet goes off. I go, huh, cool. So when you sit on it, you know, it makes this noise. You can hear somebody sit on, heard it, okay? Then my phone, then Siri goes, sorry, can you repeat that? I'm not even scared. It was a ghost having his morning routine. A little dumpy wumpy, asking Siri for some tunes, but why are they trying to kill my birds?
I love that she totally respects the ghost and their spooky dookie here. But as a mother of two budgies myself, I understand the importance of not letting your birds get too cold. So don't love that part. Hopefully the ghost was listening during this little TikTok recording and knows to chill out on leaving doors open at night. A crazy ghost clip from TikTok user Chawachee has been going viral the past few months. And this guy literally gets into a fist fight with a ghost.
My front camera is smashed, but I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always say it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? Oh my God, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
We watched this on stream originally and I was laughing so hard. He just goes in guns a-blazing, like he doesn't give a crap when he starts swinging. It made me laugh so hard. You guys know I'm getting a little bit more skeptical with like paranormal videos and stuff like that online, but I gotta give it to him on this one. That punch looked real. He almost knocked out on those stairs. I'm gonna say that was a real ghost running down the stairs at him, and in that case, it was a pretty rational response. A mom on TikTok posted a video saying that her son had borrowed her phone to film himself playing with his toys. Not an uncommon thing for him to do. What was uncommon, however, was what he caught on camera.
My son borrowed my phone to film a movie with his toys. He does this often.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello.
I was outside gardening.
Come in. Come in.
With the creepy editing and stuff, I don't think this is a real case of like a mimic or something, but the way his toy fell in the end, he did seem genuinely scared. So I wonder if like that part was real. Maybe that part is paranormal, but also it probably isn't. It's probably nothing. Here's another video that I discovered in my streams with you guys. It comes from Two Girls, One Ghost. They have a really fun podcast, and I've seen clips from them before, but they started getting like viewer submissions of ghost videos and stuff like that. So one of their listeners named Madison, she goes to the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs. And this hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, is insanely haunted. I've heard of the Crescent Hotel, okay? I've watched the Sam and Colby video on it. I've heard stories. I've never been there myself. But their viewer caught something truly crazy on camera.
Girls trip, most haunted hotel in America, and my nightstand on the creepy door is my eyes shut. So
that's why I come back.
Early bedtime looking for ghosts.
Now the girls go on to say that something that's truly creepy about this clip is that you can see this figure's shadow on the wall before she comes into frame. This is another one that I am not arguing with. That is an entirely paranormal clip, okay? Somebody runs past the camera and they didn't have anywhere to go. We saw that the nightstand was right there. When you slow the footage down, it genuinely looks like a kid. You can see the hair, you can see almost what looks like a white dress, like a kid running back and forth in this hotel room or something. And in the moment, the person recording this, like, they don't react at all. And I don't know what it is, but this is genuinely one of the scariest ghost videos I've ever seen come out of TikTok. Madison had done the ghost tour earlier that day, so maybe this ghost had followed her back to her room. Now, the next one comes from Annie Shaw 24, and this is a quick one, but if you look at the bottom right-hand corner of this video, you will see a flash, so quick heads up for that. But there's this really bright flash, and when slowing it down, for the briefest moment, you can see the figure of what looks to be a child looking up at this whiteboard that had been signed and like had things written on it by a bunch of different people. And they look a little off. Maybe it's like the angle of the camera. You know how sometimes you'll have on the wide angle lens and things will get a little distorted. But the arms are really long, and the way that they're bent, it's so quick. Like, it literally just pops up for the briefest instant. And I guess it could have been edited, but again, my initial reaction is I kind of think that one's paranormal. I would be really curious to know the context of like what this whiteboard was about, like what was written on there. It looks like there's some kind of like drawing with like best friends written on it or something. Maybe a little kid has remained in this house and was just checking out the cool artwork on the wall. So TikTok user Sassy Cali Girl 2003 captioned this video, POV, your house is haunted and you finally catch it on camera. This is a roughly 5-minute video and I'm gonna set the scene for you. As you might have guessed, this poster has been experiencing paranormal things in her home. Now, when she's filming this, her son is not home. He has a bedroom upstairs and she swears she can hear him up there.
And let me take you guys, I'll take you guys up there and show you there's nobody up there. But let's see if we can catch it. Normally I don't get scared, but hearing the door close like a freaking human is up there, and I already went up there once and I checked, and nobody or nothing was up there. So I went up there and I checked all the rooms and in the attic, and there's nobody up there, but I keep hearing his bedroom door close, or like somebody's walking up there, but he's not here. I don't know what my dog's barking at. But I hope we catch it on camera because this is freaking creeping me out. I know you guys heard that. I hope I caught that. Did you hear it? Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna turn. Look, nobody's up here. Oh my god. Look at his door is closed. Oh my god. Nope. 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 I gotta tell my daughter, boo-boo. Oh my god. There's water in my eyes. Oh my god. Why does it sound like, and I recorded it. It sounds like somebody's in your brother's room. And I went up there to show that the door was closed. Tell me why his door opened when I went up there. I swear. I ran down here by myself. I'm recording it. Come up there with me to show them nobody's here. Oh my god. That made my eyes water, you guys. I showed it on camera. Okay, we're gonna go up there and I'm gonna show you guys nobody is in his room. He is not here. Turn your flashlight on. Oh my god. Hurry up and come up here so you can point it to show nobody's in the room. Look. Look. Nobody's in here. Nobody.
Look, even Pixie.
You guys literally, you seen that in real time with me. Oh my god. And there's been that mimic. And my daughter has heard it when I'm not here. It says my name, or it says her name in my voice when I'm not here. And it says my name in her voice when I'm not here. Or when she's not here. And now that's happening. Look at my dog. Oh, no, I'm done. I'm done.
As soon as the poster mentions that the door is closed, it swings open. And what follows in her reaction, I think seems very genuine for someone who just had the daylight scared out of them. When I watched this for the first time, I was on stream, and I feel like people were pretty mixed. Some saying it seems like a really genuine reaction, while others say, I mean, a door opening, like maybe there's a draft, maybe it's not that secure of a doorknob. Other people told me that it looked like somebody was in the room. I didn't see anything, but I'm really curious if you guys caught like a figure or something in the room on camera. I don't know personally. I'm a little on the fence with this one. Again, this seems like a reaction from someone who genuinely believes that their house is haunted. Actually, I don't really have a rational explanation for this one. Maybe this really is just paranormal. Our next TikTok account is my friend Monse. This is Cvnela on TikTok, who has a whopping 2.3 million followers. I'm so proud of her. Monse is someone I found through the Scary Side of TikTok series, and it's been such a delight to see her grow into one of the biggest names in the horror creator space. She'll often recommend like scary videos for people to watch. That's sort of her signature, scary movies and scary video recommendations. She also goes into like videos in Spanish. For example, in this video, she talks about one of the scariest Mexican analog horrors.
Let's talk about one of the creepiest Mexican analog horrors, the Selena Delgado broadcast. Now, before I show you the video, let's break it down a little bit. The Selena Delgado broadcast was a broadcast that allegedly happened on Canal 5 during the segment called Al Servicio a la Comunidad, which translates to In Service to the Community, which was a missing people's broadcast during the late 1990s to the early 2000s. And this segment would cut between commercials to help spread the word on missing people. It was usually followed by the name, the age, and the dates that they went missing. However, it was one that would shock people of a woman named Selena Delgado, who was a woman that went missing on April 22nd in Álvaro Obregón, Mexico City. But allegedly, during her broadcast, which apparently cut during a kids' TV show, her picture gets interrupted by this.
Desde 18 años se extravió el 22 de abril en la delegación Álvaro Obregón. Selena Delgado López se ignora su paradero desde el 28 de mayo del año 2000.
So yeah, apparently that popped up and thousands of children were horrified by this picture. But yeah, apparently according to some commenters, their moms saw this happen in real life. And others just say that it's the best analog horror. But listen, real or not, that picture gave me nightmares. That's the craziest uncanny valley I have ever seen. I don't know what to think. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Sorry for the nightmares, if you have any.
I also love videos where she goes a little bit more in depth into nostalgic old YouTube videos. Like this one, the party makeup video. Do you guys remember this? It really took me back to old scary YouTube watching this on her TikTok account.
Let's talk about one of the scariest videos out on the internet, the party makeup video. So many of you guys were telling me to cover this video, and yeah, I'm disturbed. Before I show you a bit of this absolutely terrifying video, let's break it down a little bit. In 2014, a channel by the name of 15 Experience would upload one of the strangest, eeriest videos on the internet. Party Makeup by Nikki, where you see a young woman introduce herself as Nikki, excitedly state that she would be showing us how she does her party makeup. However, as the video would progress, you'd see these strange Facebook screenshots on this side of the screen. Suddenly cuts to this terrifying CCTV footage of this dark, empty room, to which Nikki would suddenly snap out of her cheery mood and do this.
And I love to start at the base and then move my way inside. So we're gonna just start here.
If you didn't understand what happened, she started slamming her head on the table. Awful, I know. Obviously, I can't show you the unblurred images here because, there's a lot of red stuff. But the original video has since been taken down, only to be left with re-uploads. And comments claiming no negative energy. Bro, my heart skipped a beat, no joke. This is the scariest bleep I've seen. And yeah, you get it. Some people even claim that she got possessed. Listen, according to CapitalFM.com, the original description said the video was sent to me anonymously. I do not have any information beyond that. It is for you to decide your own whether it is real or fake. I guess the ending of the video linked you to their website. So listen, I tried to access, but it's no longer available. For those of you wondering if this was a haunted video or a woman getting possessed on camera, it was actually none of that. Because the actual actress in the video, Nakia Seacrest, literally tweeted almost 1 million views, basically celebrating the fact that their video was going viral. But yeah, she's okay, guys, she's okay. It was all just a really, really good marketing stunt. Listen, although this was fake, this was very well shot for its time, and I remember people back then really thought that this poor woman unalived on video, that someone just uploaded it. And if you watch the unblurred version, it looks really realistic. And yeah, that's the story of Party Makeup by Nikki. I want to hear what you guys think. Is this still terrifying to you? Do you think this is truly one of the most iconic horror videos on the internet? Or is the magic of horror in this ruined to you now? Let me know.
Monse always has really great movie recommendations, or maybe truly cursed ones. These are actually her top do not watch horror movies.
Here are my top do not watch horror movies. movies, unless you want to be utterly disgusted and disturbed. For our first one, we're gonna start off really strong with a really weird one. 2018 body horror, The Farm. This one feels like a fever dream. The Farm is about this sweet couple that's on a road trip, but suddenly in the middle of their trip, these kidnappers snatch them up, put them in a farm, and treat them like animals. It turns out that these kidnappers are actually farmers that have a huge farm full of humans that they treat like farm animals. Let me just tell you how weird this is. The men are used for their meat and the women are used for their milk. These people are just a bunch of cannibals. Now you might be wondering, does the couple make it out? I'm not gonna tell you. Yeah, this one's pretty gross, pretty uncomfy. This crazy film is available on YouTube and Tubi. And for our second one, we're gonna go with one that you guys keep asking me to put in my list. And you know what? I listen and I don't judge, kind of. The 2010 thriller horror, I Spit on Your Grave. I hate this movie, the first half at least, because this one for me personally was a little too much. But I Spit on Your Grave is about a woman who's a writer that takes a solo trip, but during one of her stays in an isolated wooden house, gets brutally assaulted by a group of men. I'm not gonna go into detail because the movie is known for being very graphic, and I'm not a fan of movies that are this graphic, but what I will say is that this is a revenge story because the woman actually manages to escape them, makes a comeback to make her revenge on all of them. Now that part I liked about this movie. Through this is graphic for all the reasons, but listen, personally I had to skip through the assault part, stayed focused on the revenge part. So if you think you can stomach this one, it's on Tubi for free. Yeah, that one was really dark. So I'm gonna end the list with a really weird horror movie. 2007 comedy horror film, Teeth. I remember watching this one during a sleepover and I was just disgusted, disturbed, confused. I feel like only certain people would like this one. Teeth is about this Christian teenager who starts to develop a crush on one of her friends, but later is assaulted by that friend. I can't say it. However, during the assault, the guy starts to scream in pain because it turns out that she had teeth in her, with his you-know-what chopped off. She flees the scene and basically her whole life ends up being changed. And I know, guys, this movie has a strange premise, but honestly, the more I think about it, the cooler it sounds. And is, because when I watched it, I actually kind of liked it. And strangely enough, also a good message on consent and taking your body autonomy back. If you want to watch this one's available on Tubi for free. Tubi, you just want to give us nightmares. But yeah, those are my top do not watch movies. I'm gonna be honest with you, probably the first two are a little too much. But the last one, that one just has a place in my heart. Because I watched it as a teenager and I was shocked. I was gagged. But yeah, have any of you guys seen these? Do you guys have any movies to recommend me? Let me know.
She even streams sometimes and reacts to scary content live, a little bit like yours truly. So if you like that kind of thing, then make sure to check her out. I mean, make sure to check out Monse anyway. There's truly no lack of scary content on all of her accounts, but it's also all so informative. She's also just a really creative person. Sorry, I gotta gush with my friend here for a second, but she's been doing so much cool studio work recently. Like I saw these interviews she did for Wolfman, and she always has the coolest questions to ask. Again, she's someone who I just have known for so long. I feel like literally since the start of her TikTok career, when she started out all of her videos by saying, "Can I show you a scary video?" And I used to include them in my scary side of TikToks. And like I said, now I feel like she is truly one of these forces in the horror creator space. And I mean, I'm just so very proud of her. So make sure to check her out. I kind of can't believe I haven't talked about this yet, but there's an account going viral on TikTok by the name of Haunted Amelia. Recently, she posted a video saying, "I can't believe what I found under the floorboards of this 250-year-old house." And after I saw this video, I couldn't either.
So I looked underneath the floorboard to see where I could nail it down again. But I had to get my camera out because, can you see that? That looks like something buried to me. It's wedged under the old floorboards. I don't know what that is. Oh. Oh man, that's awesome. I'll be able to get this out. I'm gonna have to cut this because I'm gonna need both hands to get this out because it is wedged in there. Okay, so I think it's coming out. It looks like it's got gold on it. Oh, it's coming. It is filthy. How long do you reckon that was in there for? It's definitely a book, but they're not like actual pages, they're like really thick. Right, I'm gonna have to open this on camera. I'm gonna clean this up because I don't want to breathe this in and make another video.
Of course, that's all really creepy, but I feel like if you pried up the floorboards of any very old home, you might stumble across an odd coin or two, you know? But of course, everyone was like, we need to see what is in that book.
The book seemed normal at the start, filled with old portraits. But things took a creepy turn the further I went into the book. I noticed what seemed like a very old photo of my house. This is when the pictures took an unsettling turn. The rest of the album is filled with pictures of empty rooms that have an unsettling feeling. A dark shadow appears in all of these photos. I can't help but think what else could be buried under those floorboards. I will search for more hidden items.
And at this point, this is starting to remind me of a TikTok account called Time to Wait, which is an account that chronicled a woman's paranormal experience around her house that was rented out to her. And there were all of these like creepy old items, like she found an old briefcase and stuff and basically made a whole ARG out of it, which of course at this point is what I'm assuming this is. Maybe the other stuff was under the floorboards, but taking one look at this book, I feel like there's absolutely no way it was buried in a bunch of dirt for hundreds of years, nor do I believe that these photos are real. But I love a good scary story, okay? I love a good ARG. I am locked in at this point. And in the next video, she talks about the vials that she also found hidden under the floorboards of her 250-year-old house.
So if you've already seen the other video, I found a book that was hidden under the floorboards. So I've decided to see if there was anything else under the floorboards. So this is what I found so far. There was in fact more coins. Got no idea what this is. If anyone knows what this is, let me know. Another coin. I was doing a bit of digging to the right of where the book was, and there does seem to be something else down there which looks quite interesting. Okay. It's got like wax on it. It's got liquid in it. There's another one there. So that just makes things like 10 times more interesting. Why has it got so much wax on it? Let's see if it's got cork in it. Oh. I probably shouldn't be doing this on the floors. I'm going to open these downstairs because I'm fairly certain I don't know what's in that. And I'm fairly certain that's got liquid in it as well. Ugh, it stinks as well. Right, I'm going to clean up and open these downstairs. I don't think I want to open this one because I don't have gloves for a start. I'm probably going to catch some like horrible disease or something.
And a lot of people are like, don't open spell jars, man. Like, you really just should not have done that. And it implies almost that something has been released into the home, an energy that had been contained the whole time. And if we take a look back at the first video on the account, it seems that paranormal activity has been happening the whole dang time, because there's this clip of a dart that she was throwing into a dartboard, and it got caught mid-air and then just started spinning. So she's been capturing paranormal footage here from the start, well before she found what was under the floorboards. Another clip from before her discovering all of this said, "The scariest footage I've caught so far. I kept hearing banging from upstairs and caught this on camera." In response to a comment asking what fell down beside the bed as the curtain opened, the poster said, "I zoomed in on the side of the video so it's visible. The bang when it hit the ground scared me to an inch of my life." And I don't think she explains what it was, but it almost looks like headphones or something hanging on the wall. And no, I don't think that this is real paranormal footage, but I also don't think it's necessarily a hoax. I feel like those photos, the album, all of that took time to make, you know what I mean? And even just a shove in this like dusty area where maybe she did find those like original things, the coins, the whatever, to inspire her to do this. But at the very least, I don't think that photo album is a real century-old photo album. You know what I mean? Still, I love keeping an eye on accounts like this, so I hope she has some more spooky videos soon. So, the first account we're going to be talking about today, I originally heard about from a creator who goes by Sugia1 on TikTok. Now, when I saw this TikTok video, it probably had like a couple 100,000 views, and I saw it and I was like, whoa, this is absolutely crazy. Lo and behold, at the time of filming this, it has completely blown up, as has this entire situation. So you may have already heard about this. So Sugia1 will explain this pretty well, but there's a man on TikTok who recently bought a house, I believe at auction, and while renovating it, he found skeletal remains inside.
Am I hallucinating? Did you see the video of the man who bought the house from, I guess, a hoarder, and in that house he found the remains of a human person's skeletal structure in that house, like in and among all the crap that was in there, but like the video actually shows the remains. Like, how is, I can't even say ew in a comment section. I mean, shouldn't it be taken down? Like, is it real? Is it fake? Who's seen it? Help me. If it's real, like, number one, I can't imagine that is abiding by the community guidelines. And number two, like, that's really sad. That's really sad that somebody was just left there and forgotten about, or never even remembered was there. Like, that's terrible.
I saw that. I immediately went to the account, and lo and behold, yes, there was a video on the account of this house, very clearly like a hoarder house that was being cleaned through, and skeletal remains on the floor. They were not, apparently, I'm not going to be showing them in this video, FYI. They were online for like well over a week, and there's a lot of debate back and forth of whether or not they should be posted. Personally, I'm not comfortable with looking at it. I'm not comfortable with showing it. If I was in that person's place, I would not want to be viewed like that online. So regardless of if it does break terms of service or not, I'm just not going to be showing it. But the skeletal remains were found beneath a pile of garbage, essentially. And upon seeing them, I initially thought, okay, maybe there's a chance this is not a hoax, but like maybe they're Halloween decorations. They looked weathered and a little bit older and very authentic. But again, you know, were they just some kind of Halloween prop? But after reading the comment section of this video, I wasn't so sure. Stormy Wonder on TikTok said that as someone who has been involved with bodies and morgues throughout their lives, that is a straight A, real decomposing skeleton. Looks like they've been there a minute, and from what it looks like, someone had to have aced them there to hide them since there's no decomposition stains. Another comment from Colby Brewer says, bring me back for the update. As a firefighter of 15 years, I'm gonna say that it ain't a prop. If so, it's the most realistic prop ever. To which the creator, Matty Ice, says you should have seen the video of the firefighters walking up the sidewalk. They didn't even make it to the door. They turned around and left. Colby says, yep, I know that smell all too well. No other smell like a dead human. TikTok seemed convinced, but what did law enforcement think? Yeah, it was a real body, which is incredibly tragic and horribly sad, and unfortunately, from a lot of what I've seen, not that uncommon in hoarder houses. This blows up literally immediately, and the very next day, the poster gives us an update about what happened.
So this is the house where we found the body yesterday, and back here today, got guys cleaning up the outside. Yesterday, the coroner came, police came, fire department came, they took the body, and trying to determine if it was the previous owner. Him and his brother lived here one time. Fire department did have an interaction with him back in November. So coroner is coming back today to look for more information, contact information to one of the family members or something, just to try to wrap this thing up. So as for now, though, the detective asked that we not enter the house. We boarded it back up, so just kind of waiting now till they give us the green light to continue and clean out the there was an arm missing on the person's body. So the coroner did ask us if we find anything to give them a call. Of course, we're kind of thinking it was possibly an animal or something like that.
And at this point, obviously a very tragic and dark situation. Really sad for everyone involved. Matty Ice has to, you know, put a stop on all of this renovation work as well, while they're kind of trying to sort things out. But when the next update comes, the story gets a lot darker because the coroner's office confirmed that this body did not belong to the homeowner.
Did speak to the coroner on Saturday. They mentioned it was not the homeowner and that it was a potential friend of the homeowner. You know, my impression was they had a relationship. She wouldn't come out and say that, but I did ask her a couple questions, and that was kind of what it sounded like she was saying. And I spoke to the detective this morning. He did allow me to go back in and start cleaning out the property.
One of the neighbors on this street who had even seen Matty Ice's videos on the situation saw him and said, we knew something was going on with that house. I mean, even beyond like the hoarding situation, whatever, because we could smell it down the street since last year.
And then one of the neighbors pulled up just a second ago and talked to me. She actually saw one of my videos and mentioned that they could smell last year down the street, or was calling the city, and nothing was being done about it. Actually, the neighbor right next door, she said, had to keep her windows closed because the smell was so strong that it was like, you know, going through her house. So absolutely crazy. But yeah, gonna come back tomorrow and do a walkthrough of the inside of the house.
And everyone I've ever heard talk about bodies in this way has said that they have this very distinct smell, like something you'll just never ever forget. They say it's this almost like sickly sweet smell. So now that he is allowed to kind of go back into the house, the poster enters and gives us a little bit more information as to how he stumbled across the skeletal remains in the first place.
When we first came in here, this is the side door. Could barely get the door open. Had to there was a door here, had to rip it off to be able to get in here. There was like a tiny, tiny narrow pathway here to get through. There's just trash literally everywhere. And then this is the hallway. As you can see, I mean, you really can't even access that. So the day that we found the person in here, I actually had to climb over to the front door and move stuff just so we could open the front door, and then had to make a pathway over here to where the person was kind of underneath stuff. So some of this stuff obviously has been thrown back this way to give it more space for the coroner and police to be able to get in here and remove the remains. So obviously not the way a person could be living. And it's still confusing to me how the person got there. They were kind of under stuff. Doesn't really make sense to me, but of course I'm sure the police are doing their due diligence to determine what exactly happened.
So many people just shocked that the police aren't seemingly locking this down or maybe going through it themselves, and sort of are leaving the new homeowner to do it himself. And I guess it's a good thing he went back in, because he ends up finding the missing arm. Like, as that's coming out of my mouth, it sounds like the most insane thing to say in a casual sentence. This guy is cleaning up a home that he bought to renovate and, you know, do whatever with, combing through trash, doing this insane cleanup process, and he stumbles across an arm.
We are probably 50% through the clean out. I just went into one of the rooms and shot a video. I'll post that here in a few minutes of a bedroom. It's crazy. I mean, you can't see a spot of floor. And there's like pillows in the corner where I would assume somebody laid, and there's a phone charger plugged in there, so that was my assumption. I don't think the water had been running for a long time either. There's tons of bottles of in that bedroom. And then I just went in the living room and did discover the arm that was missing. So just sent that information to the coroner, and I believe they're gonna come pick it up today. I haven't heard back from them yet. So.
And even though this has now come in the next video, he confirms that another piece of the skeleton was found.
That's all of the trash from the living room there. So they basically just took everything, they threw it out onto the yard here. Dumpster's full, getting a new dumpster tomorrow, and then we'll finish cleaning it up. They did discover in the living room the other, all-mile radius, whichever opposite one they found yesterday, they found the other one, so we did have to call the coroner again. They're coming back out again today to grab that last piece. So tomorrow we'll be done cleaning up here. We're out of town next week, so we'll leave this alone for a week, and when I get back, we'll go to the city and start the process of them coming in to do a pre-inspection so that we can get ready to start the rehab. So probably 2 weeks from today, and we'll have a permit and we can proceed with the project and try and knock this thing out.
And 9 hours ago as I'm filming this, there was one final update posted about the House of Death, and also giving, I guess, a little bit of a time frame on when we may find out the identity of the skeleton that was discovered.
I spoke to the detective this morning, and he told me they still don't have a cause of death, still don't have a time of death. They do know that the previous owner did leave the house in November to go to the hospital and never came back to the house and is just gone. I don't know where gone is, but that's pretty much all he has to tell me for right now. So kind of waiting on the coroner to give information to come to some kind of conclusion on the matter as to who it is for sure and to the cause of death. Thanks.
This whole thing is just so devastating, and I just cannot imagine what anybody who is related to this person would be feeling, but they don't even know. Nobody knows who that body belonged to. The fact that the homeowner went to the hospital and just never came back, there's no way, right? I've been looking through absolutely everything. Some people say that maybe because the house was filled with bugs, or maybe there were animals in the area, that could have sped up the decomposition process. But was this guy potentially just living in this home with skeletal remains of somebody? Was it even a skeleton at that point? I know it's not something I can sit here and I can theorize about, but no matter how you spin it, this is one of the darkest things I've ever seen come out of TikTok. And I have to say, I've seen this poster say a little bit about, people are saying hey man, maybe put a trigger warning on some stuff, with this body. I think that when he posted it initially, I'm not sure he even thought it was a real skeleton. I didn't necessarily think it was a real skeleton. Now that it has been taken down off of TikTok and he has confirmed it has been removed, my hope is that he does not re-upload that content anywhere, and that anyone possessing that content does not repost it anywhere, out of sheer respect for the human being that used to embody that body. It just really unnerves me that we can stumble across this kind of stuff without ever meaning to. Millions and millions of people saw that post before it was taken down. Granted, I'm sitting here telling you about it, so maybe there's something to say for that, but I mean seeing it with your own two eyes. That is not good for us, for our brains, and it's also deeply disrespectful to the person that once was. I'm gonna give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Again, I didn't necessarily think it was real. I'm gonna assume he didn't either. He also doesn't seem like some social media wannabe, you know what I mean? This seems like a very normal guy doing normal work. He seems like he, buys, maybe flips or rents out houses and stuff. A lot of his page is just footage of him buying out different homes. I don't think this one was any different. And it was a terrible discovery that he happened upon. I'm about to show you the single scariest video I've ever seen in my life, and I'm being so serious. These two were literally just about to watch a movie when somehow something glitched, and instead of the movie, they were watching a live security camera feed of someone's actual room.
Where the Jordan, I'm on a movie website. What? How did that happen? Wait, did you see that? Someone just moved it. Wait.
I'm recording.
Wait, is this here, Jordan? Is this here in our complex?
No, that's not our complex, right?
How do you...
That's not our complex. That's not what it looks
someone's
like.
off. What are they... Jordan, someone's asleep right there. Oh my God.
Joel, stop!
Jordan, look at his feet. Someone's asleep right there, Jordan.
Wait.
Jordan.
What the? Show me your phone. Show me your phone. This is what he's live broadcasting.
It's just a movie, okay? There's nothing on my phone. There's nothing on my phone. How did this connect to the TV?
Oh.
This just popped up on my TV. Jordan,
This is the exact time,
Jordan,
too. What time is 4:21? So wherever that is 2 hours behind us.
This is going to go viral on Instagram if you post this. Jordan, post this on your Instagram. Oh my God.
What the f?
I don't know, y'all. I was trying to find some kind of update or follow-up, but I got nothing. And this freaks me out. There's this woman on TikTok who checked her Ring cameras after she got a notification in the middle of the night. The notification comes in at 10:13 p.m. and even the Ring camera recognizes this as a person. And if you look in those double doors, there is somebody standing there. The poster and a bunch of people in the comment section are saying that they see a little girl in a dress. I'll be really honest with you, all I see is like a face there. And I almost could have explained it away as something else, like thinking my brain was like making up a face where there isn't anything, but then it just disappears. I don't know. What do you guys see? Or do you think this is anything at all?
Videos that can never be explained. Police body cam captures lady vanishing out of nowhere.
Hey, how's it going?
I was speeding, wasn't I?
Yeah, you completely blew past that stop sign in front of me. You did?
I'm so sorry. I literally didn't even see it.
Where are you headed to where you're speeding and missing stop signs?
I was just headed to a friend's house. It's like literally right there. It's a birthday party.
Got it.
Not mine, but...
Any drugs or alcohol in the vehicle?
No, there's not.
All right. Sit tight, Sarah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Your registration is
Where did she go?
Sarah?
What the heck? Sarah? 3201 to dispatch.
What you just watched is a video that pretty much goes viral here on TikTok like once a month, with people claiming it's a glitch in the Matrix, a paranormal phenomena, and so much more. But this is actually part of a larger collective of videos called The Great Disappearance. They're all taking kind of like found footage style. Like this one was on a police body cam. The next one I'm going to show you was on a security camera. So this one's in an airport. You'll watch this person and that person disappear. The first few times that I saw these kinds of videos make the rounds with absolutely no context, I didn't think that they were real, but I certainly didn't understand where they were coming from until I found the video, The Great Disappearance by a pastor named David Jeremiah. It has over 5 million views, and the description box reads, "The Perhaps Today Rapture reenactment videos aim to create content so intriguing that the world will want to stop and consider the reality of this imminent prophetic event and look to the Word of God for the answers to their spiritual questions." So yeah, they're just videos that were made in hopes of getting people to stop and think about the rapture, but I think very clearly in hopes to go very, very viral so that it'll freak you out and you'll go buy this $30 book on 31 ways to be rapture ready. Spooky scary indeed. This TikTok from Jmotheartist is captioned POV. You moved into a house in the Appalachian Mountains and woke up to this the next morning. Clearly, that is what looks like a man's face. And then a dog that absolutely jump scared the crap out of me when it jumped up there. Now, the comments on this were really interesting to me. Mostly from people saying, yep, That's exactly what it looks like. Like when you go to bed at night, make sure you cover every single window. Make sure to do your rituals and close down your house and stuff before you go to sleep at night the minute the sun goes down, because stuff out here is spooky. Could it be a case of pareidolia where we're seeing a face and it's just a smudge on the window? Maybe, but that really looks like a face to me. Speaking of things that really do seem quite paranormal, from Sucks For You Bud, they say there's a live boy in there. Now it looks like they are just thrift shopping one day when they come across this little guy. And that is a live boy if I've ever seen one. Wow, those are very realistic eyes. Man, I really don't like that. But like in the sense that I would love to have him in my home. Like he gives me a totally unnerving feeling, but also I really like that. I don't think most people would. On the haunted scale though, I would say he's getting like a solid 8 out of 10. I think that thing is possessed. Or maybe just looks really realistic, but where's the fun in that? A popular TikToker named Amanda Rollins recently bridged the gap into my spooky content territory when she posted a video about the fact that her housekeeper had found a human tooth in her bathroom. I'm not joking. A human tooth.
So I'm in the bathroom getting ready, right? And my housekeeper was here and I'm very close with her. I look down on top of where I keep my my cotton pads and stuff. There's something weird and brown sitting on top of the jar. And I like look at it. It almost looks like a sugar cube at first. Then I get closer. That is a human tooth. That is a human tooth. That is a goldish, yellowish human tooth. So I'm sitting here thinking, you know, I've never known my housekeeper to have a tooth that first of all comes out and second of all that she pops out from time to time. But she like passes by me and I'm like, hey, is this yours? Like, don't forget it. And she's like, no, Amanda, that's not mine. I thought it was yours. That's why I put it there in case like it's important to you. She said, yeah, it was sitting on the counter right next to that jar. I don't know anyone in my life that has a tooth that can come in, come out. Second of all, no one has been here that would have the opportunity to be inserting, removing teeth. No, like this is actually concerning. Where did that come from? Because I am in that bathroom all the time and I'm very clean. I would notice if there was a tooth sitting on my counter. Who was in my house?
I was very proud of the comment section on this video. A lot of people saying like, take that to the police, get it DNA tested. Like there should not be a random tooth in your home. But then I see one commenter who says, do not go down the finding a random human tooth in your home rabbit hole because it's all consuming. And I'm sitting there like, wait, what? Is this a universal experience? I've never found a human tooth in my home. Like, why are people finding random teeth? But oh my God, this is a common thing. We have a TikTok from one of my mutuals, Jordan Ashley, who had the same thing happen to her.
I've just found a tooth in my house and I think it's human. And I don't quite know what to do. Do I need to call the police? What? I'm just tidying up my mess of a dining room and I was going to pick up I'm actually making a chess set. And I was like, oh, that's a funny bit of clay. That's a tooth. I mean, I don't know what type of tooth that. See, that looks like a molar. But that... don't you come near it. It's my dog. Don't you get away from it. It's in my fireplace. We're opening it up and we need some construction work up there. We need it lined. So it's open. Has it come from... it's got to have come from in there. The only things I can think of is there's loads of jackdaws at the top. Maybe they've brought it and dropped it down. No, what if there's someone up there? Isn't there a thing when people used to go missing? They used to find them in chimneys. What do I do? There can't be someone up there. There can't. Because it's like... it like flutes up so it's too narrow. There can't be... like you can see where we've put the plasterboard. Like that's far too narrow.
And then I found an Auntie Matrix video about it, covering this one TikToker named Quinnharloww's video about this.
I once found 2 human molar teeth in the washing machine. It freaked me out. I have no idea where they came from. So I read that sparks my interest. I'm like, what the fuck? But wait, I found one on my living room floor about 20 years ago. I lived alone. Okay, weird. That's a weird coincidence, you know, that both of these people found a human tooth. Okay, now that's weird because I found one in my dining area on the floor. Lived here for 5 years and I don't know where it came from. What? I found it in my front garden a few years ago. Okay, you know, like that could be like an animal tooth or something. But this person found one in their kitchen sink. A human molar. And it just keeps going. I thought I was crazy. I found one under my bed when I moved. 1 human molar, adult, laying plain as day. I found a gold tooth in my basement. It just keeps getting weirder. I just found a tooth sitting on my parents' table the other day and we have no idea where it came from. I found a tooth in my coat pocket. What is with this? What?
Why are people finding human teeth in their homes and around their homes? Not like just human teeth, like specifically molars? So many people. Whoa. So I took to the internet and I came across some Reddit articles where people are saying the same thing, like this: does finding teeth have anything to do with ghosts? This person talked about possibly something with demons or hex bags, like maybe these teeth were part of a spell. I found another article saying the same thing, that they found teeth in their house, and someone said the same thing, witchcraft, but this is baby teeth. They're saying baby teeth. And the people in the video that this woman is talking about are saying molars, which are not baby teeth. This is another one, finding teeth in my house. His dad found teeth by his bed.
So I gotta ask, have you guys ever found a tooth in your home? Like, I live by myself, so if I found a tooth and it was not immediately recognizable as a dog tooth or a cat tooth, I'm screwed, I fear. Very, very, very interesting, and was just a rabbit hole that I probably could have kept diving down. Recently on TikTok, a live photo has been going viral for a woman saying that she captured a Hawaiian night marcher in a photo during her trip to Hawaii. If you're like me and you'd never heard of the Hawaiian night marchers, Kalanighosthunter breaks this down very well.
A woman is claiming to capture a photo of a Hawaiian night marcher while she was on a 100-mile endurance run on a trail on Oahu. So quick backstory, my dad is Kanaka and my mom is white, so I am part Native Hawaiian, but the lore of the night marchers is probably one of the most terrifying things in Hawaiian lore. Now, as the lore goes, if you encounter a night marcher, you are supposed to strip off your clothes and lay face first in the ground. Now, this footage is actually coming from 2019, and this woman recently posted it, and what she captured does look like a very interesting figure in the Hawaiian rainforest. Now, this is the iPhone Live feature, which, as you guys know, it gives you a few seconds before and after your photo, but neither her friend or the runner remember seeing anybody or encountering anybody in the rainforest. So did she come in contact with a Hawaiian night marcher? Also, side note, when I was doing a paranormal investigation on the island of Oahu, I actually was out off of Pali Highway doing a ghost hunt around Morgan's Corner. And I kid you not, it was pitch black outside. I was completely alone at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I hear drum beats coming out of the rainforest next to me. I never saw a night marcher, but I'm wondering if they were there.
I was trying to find examples of the night marchers' drums. I found this one video, it's very old, from Pokey511.
Yeah, you heard that one?
Yeah.
Sound like one knock on top one tree. Oh, you heard that too, right? Uh-huh. Okay. We going back. What? Didn't it kind of sound like one of those old drums?
And while I completely believe that this is real, like I believe that they are hearing the drums, I don't hear anything in the clip. Super creepy though, and I do wonder if that live photo was capturing something paranormal. But is that just a guy and we're taking it out of context? I don't know. I do definitely believe that these night marchers are real. I believe like literally all folklore from different countries, and this one is very creepy. Now this next video comes from Tellmeyourghoststorypod, and this creator had started a series basically exploring scary but real photographs that keep her up at night. And I'm going to show you a few of these. It's one of my favorite series on TikTok. I love watching them so much. But this very first one is really, really odd, and I'll be curious to hear what you guys think.
Day one of creepy real photos that keep me up at night. This is a photo of Joe and Patty Martinez. This was taken at a friend's 50th wedding anniversary party. No one knew it at the time, but Joe was secretly struggling with addiction. When they got the photos developed, they noticed something very sinister in the background. Right behind Joe, you'll notice this dog-looking creature. There were no dogs or animals at the event, and nobody could explain why this was captured in the photo. Joe believed this creature was a demon, and he took it as a sign to fight his addiction. He eventually overcame his addiction, and actually carried around this photo in his wallet as a reminder of the dark times in his past.
Now, to me, obviously, that just looks like a dog. The dog is also quite high up, like it's standing over his shoulder, so unless somebody was literally standing there holding a dog to photobomb this, a dog that I guess nobody else had seen the entire party, this is very, very odd. Now, I find it interesting the initial reaction was that this was some sort of demon, but I guess it's a good story in the end if he used it to kind of overcome his addiction. Like I said, this is a whole series. They're really quick videos that are perfect for binging. If you want to check out this creator, as always, I'll have everybody that I talk about today listed out down below, but I'm going to show you a few more of these videos that she's talked about.
Creepy Real Photos That Keep Me Up at Night Part 2. This photo was taken at Hampton Court Palace, which is the former residence of King Henry VIII, and it's supposedly haunted by his 5th wife, Catherine. 2 girls were visiting the palace with their parents, one is seen right here, and the other was taking the photo. They leave and are looking back through their photos, and this one came out normal, but take a look at the photo taken just seconds before this one. What is that? Genuinely, what is that? I could look at this photo forever and still not know what's going on.
Whatever is in this castle, I mean, that thing literally looks like a scary movie creature. I don't think that Blumhouse could come up with that in their wildest dreams. Obviously, if something like that was there, you would see it. And if you zoom in on the face, like, it just gets more and more and more unsettling. It looks to me, if you're asking me, like a woman in a blue dress with like long hair, maybe really long arms or like tentacles. I really don't know. And then the face looks off for sure.
Creepy Real Photos That Keep Me Up at Night Part 3. This photo was posted to Reddit with the caption, "Can you identify what this face-like image could be? Photo taken by a family friend." I'm sorry? OP says this photo was taken in the summertime, not Halloween, so it probably is not a Halloween decoration. Several Reddit users analyzed the photo and they said based on the shadows and the colors, it doesn't appear to be photoshopped, but what do you think?
And to me, this one is the creepiest because look, we talked about pareidolia, which is where you might see like a face or some sort of recognizable thing where there is actually nothing. It's a phenomenon because our brain likes to make sense of things. So could that be what this is? Maybe. It really looks like a face to me though. Like, could it just be a break in the trees? Like you can kind of see above that, you know, there's like kind of like light or the sky pouring in through the trees. Could it be that? And then something that just really looks like a face? Maybe. I don't know though. This one is really giving paranormal to me.
Creepy Real Photos That Keep Me Up at Night Part 4. This photo was posted to Reddit and was taken on a digital camera when OP and her friends were hiking in New Hampshire. They were looking back through their photos and they noticed something weird. This person's obviously supposed to be there. That guy up there is supposed to be there, but who is that? OP went through every single photo that she had ever taken with the camera to verify that it wasn't just a portion of another photo that's superimposed over this one, but she couldn't find anything. She posted the EXIF files to Reddit to prove that it wasn't photoshopped. She was genuinely looking for answers, but no one could explain this photo.
Now, this one is really scary to me because that looks like a person. I mean, that's not a case of pareidolia. That's not a case of double exposure. That is a human being looking quite distressed at that, very close to this person who says that they saw nothing. I hope that this one is paranormal low-key because that person looks very distressed. I guess there's really not another word for it. And they look scared. So yeah, I don't know about the technical stuff with like the files that she was talking about to prove it wasn't superimposed, but I have one more of these I wanted to share with you.
Creepy Real Photos That Keep Me Up at Night Part 5. This photo was posted to Facebook with the caption, "Taken at a McDonald's. We thought our daughter was alone in this playground at the time. The face on the left was not visible at the time I took this. When she was asked who was next to her in the pic, she replied, 'That's my imaginary friend Beto.' Yeah. Hi, Beto. It's crazy how you can see her legs here, but there's no legs under Beto. What do you make of this one? Follow for more creepy real photos."
Yeah, I feel like this one has to be photoshopped, right? Like, I feel like this one cannot possibly be real because Beto, is giving like demon. Is giving hollow-eyed entity for sure. But like the creator says, there are no legs under that entity. So does that point to it being photoshopped, or does it point to it being paranormal? That's up to you to decide. But once again, I could have showed you literally every single one of these videos in this series, but those were just some of the creepiest ones. They were also like the first 5. So make sure to check this creator out. Once again, they are Tellmeyourghoststorypod, and there are some other really creepy pictures. So definitely scroll through the playlist if you're feeling brave. This video from Jenna Phillips has been going so viral, and it's captioned POV, you're vlogging and you hear your toddler yelling at someone. She walks in upset because her friend in the living room, completely empty, is not listening to her. I'm gonna crop in on Jenna's face here, but in the original video, her daughter walks in to the door frame and starts saying all of this.
The lug is not getting down.
What?
She's not getting down.
Who, honey?
Kalani's not getting down.
What's her name? Kalong?
Yeah, she's not getting down.
Where is she, honey? Where is she?
She's in the living room. She's not getting off the chair.
Okay. What would you like me to do about this?
She needs to get off the chair because she's gonna fall on her head.
Okay. How does she look?
It looks like she has makeup on herself.
Okay.
She's not listening to my words.
Okay, go tell her to get down and then see if she gets down. Okay.
Teeth. Come on, you make it down. Okay. Good job. Thank you. She got down.
Are you playing with her?
Oh yes, I'm using it, man. She was just sitting on the chair because I like her to get off, so. But she's on.
This video went so viral. I'm talking like 27 million views viral. So of course, this creator, Jenna, she makes a follow-up. And in it, she kind of answers some frequently asked questions, and she says that like, whatever her daughter is seeing, like, you know, if it's a ghost, if it is just an imaginary friend, nothing really scares her more than real people. And that's honestly so true. She says, you know, she went out to check that nobody was in the living room, of course, before sending her kid back out there, but there was nobody there.
Everyone's asking like for an update about my daughter seeing an imaginary friend / ghost in my living room, and I'm here to give you an update. My daughter has always had like an imaginary friend / ghost friend, I don't even know what you want to call it, since she was like 1 year old. For a while she had a friend named Emma that she would play with downstairs all the time. I don't really think anything of it because kids do have an imagination. I'm not gonna just jump into conclusion thinking that she's talking to a ghost. Everyone's telling me to move out of my house. You gonna buy me my next house? I'm gonna let her do her. Whatever is in my house, it's entertaining my child, okay? Because I can barely keep up. I'm 34 weeks pregnant. I'm exhausted. She doesn't have a sibling. So whatever it is, thank you. People were asking me to have my toddler draw this picture of this thing that she's calling culling. I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to do that when she doesn't know how to draw, so it wouldn't even turn out good. I don't think that's necessary if I'm being honest. She already explained how the thing looks. So I picked her up from school. She did mention this culling thing multiple times. It's either an imaginary friend, like I said, or a little ghost friend. It's okay either way. The search on my video is something about the 12th century of something named culling. I don't know what you guys are doing out there, but we've got to chill. I don't really want my daughter being scared of whatever it is. She's not acting scared, she's acting completely fine.
And I was kind of trying to look more into Kalong, who is this like 12th century witch apparently the people are talking about in the comment section of the first video. It appears that she is from Bali. I couldn't find like a lot of information on it though, so I don't necessarily think that specific entity is what's like haunting the child, but yeah, imaginary friend or something spooky scary, I'm not really sure. Like Jenna said though, when she was filming this video, she was very pregnant, so anything that kind of kept her daughter occupied was probably better than not. For the past almost 3 months now, I've sat on the next couple of TikToks hoping that there would be some sort of update or conclusion to them, but there hasn't been. And it's genuinely one of the most disturbing things I've ever read. So this TikToker, her name is KateBuilds2, received a DM from someone that was concerning to say the absolute least.
I am literally about to crash out right now because what is this? I just received this DM on my personal Instagram. This is like my friends and family only, like 100 followers Instagram. It has nothing to do with this account. And let me just read it to you. Kate, I know you do not know me, but I have been watching you since the womb of your mother. I found a way to connect through the system, whatever that means. It's primitive here, but it's enough to reach you, enough to watch. And I have been. For proof, I saw you this morning. You never left the house other than a trip out back. Literally the only time I left the house today was to go out back and check on the garden. You ate watermelon and charcuterie for breakfast, which I did. You folded laundry, took a shower, wore white shorts and a camo shirt, which I'm literally still wearing the camo shirt. I need to tell you of our bloodline and why you have the dreams that you do. Please do not be frightened. Please respond to me. There is so much that you need to know. I will be waiting. Your grandfather. Like, I literally don't even know what to do with this. The account that this is coming from is literally a picture of my dead grandfather, whom I've never met. He died when my dad was like a teenager. The bio says, Caitlin, please message me.
She goes on to say that nobody calls her Caitlin except for her family, and that the profile photo for this account is of her deceased grandfather. She says her grandma had showed her a million photos of this man, and yet somehow she had never seen this one in particular. The bio also reads, Caitlin, please message me. Now, this video got like 3 million views, and people were pretty freaked out in the comments. If you have a crawl space or an attic, I need you to get it checked out and make sure no one is hiding there and watching you. Please, just to be safe. I'm from New Jersey, and this reminds me of the real life The Watcher case, which is immediately what I thought of as well, if you guys are familiar with that. It's where this anonymous person started stalking this family who moved into a house, basically saying that like they shouldn't have moved there, essentially. Like whoever this is watching the house, watching them. It's very, very, very creepy. But yeah, a lot of people were kind of comparing it to that. So Kate made a follow-up and basically messaged this person back. And what they go on to say is incredibly bizarre.
Update on my stalker pretending to be my dead grandfather reaching out to me through the grave, and I cannot believe that that's even a sentence. This right here is my response, and I'll read you his. Understand your caution, Kate. You are wise to question me. I can prove myself in knowing things nobody has ever come to know. I've always been watching, guiding, and paying attention. Now this part is super weird. In elementary school, you had lost Lulu, who was my hamster, in your nightstand, and you were frightened the following morning. So as a backstory, when I was like 7, I had a pet hamster, and one night I took her out of her cage and put her in my nightstand drawer to sleep next to me. And when I woke up, she was gone. She was not in the nightstand anymore, and I freaked out. After a few minutes of searching, I found her like in the back portion of the nightstand, like she had crawled up through the little dip in the drawer and gone in the back, so I pulled her out of there, and she was safe and fine, don't worry. But that is something that like literally nobody would ever know. It's something that's like not even in the foreground of my memory that I hardly even remembered until it was just now mentioned. I said, all right, say what you've got to say. At this point, he has me hooked. Now you are listening. Good. What I need to tell you does not belong in the physical realm. They are watching, listening, and if we continue, they will bury the signal. I guess meaning like he can't DM me on Instagram anymore. I will come to you tonight while you sleep. Do not resist. That line right there alone has me like... You will find yourself at a crossroads. Follow the red path. I will be waiting for you beyond the door. Bring nothing with you. This is where we will communicate. So in his initial message, he talked about my dreams, which, yes, I have been having weird dreams. And now I guess he wants me to communicate with him through my dreams. When you wake, write everything down, every symbol, every sound, every feeling, especially if it does not make sense to you. There's more at stake than you know. The soul remembers even when the body does not.
I have a lot of thoughts here, but the only other post that this person has made, at least on this account, is long-awaited grandfather stalker update. I'm alive. Should have listened to y'all. There was no grandfather in my dreams. Can't give much more info right now for my safety. And then she went dark for the past several months. I've seen everything in the comments from people thinking that this is satire or a skit to some sort of publicity ploy. But if it was a publicity grab, wouldn't she keep talking about it? Like, wouldn't she keep it going instead of just going dark for months? Because that's not really how TikTok works. When you stop posting, you stop getting engagement, the app stops favoring you, you know? So she hasn't come back, hasn't said anything else. And obviously, I really hope she's okay. It might just be that, yeah, she just cannot say more for her safety. But these videos really freaked me out. And I hope that, I don't know. I don't even know what I hope. Just that she's safe and okay, and that whoever this is nowhere near her for real.
All right, so then this one is not necessarily funny, but it's not super dark. I've been tagged in this poster's account. Her name is CassieWetzel3, and she posted one video of this doll.
Go into the bathroom, and there's Philip giving me side eye.
Philip.
What up, Philip? Just go into the bathroom, baby.
Girl, why is he looking at us?
Sometimes you just look a little scary.
He's haunted supposedly, but not with me. Story goes that as he was being made, his eyes came to life during a lightning strike by a graveyard, as the lady who made it says. She was waiting for her friend who was visiting a grave. Bought it on eBay for $80. He's made of stuffed paper mache. I always thought he was cute, but my kids hated him. Okay, so he was bought as a haunted doll.
Hi, Folsom and everybody else. Philip's not moving. It just seems like he is. Because his eyes follow you. Good morning, Philip.
His eyes do follow you. I'm a little concerned that Cassie bought Philip as a haunted doll.
So, I'm out of the shower. Get ready to comb out my hair. Still have a towel on my head. There I am.
Hi, Diva.
And can't help but see Philip staring at me. As usual. He's not that frightening. He looks pretty normal this way, but when you look at him from the side, it's like his eye is following me.
That's literally how Morty looks at me when I'm like 5 minutes late on his dinner. This is Morty degrees of like side eye. I wish he was over here so I could compare them. I actually think they have a couple of things in common.
Hey, baby.
I swear to God, I just saw his eyes move.
But it's not. I think.
I swear to you, his eyes just moved a tiny bit. Am I crazy, or did they move a little bit, or was it just the camera moving really fast? That is nuts. That thing is haunted. Are you joking me? I can't tell if his eyes actually moved in that video or not. The chat is saying that yes, he moved his eyes. I'm not being crazy. It literally looks like they moved a little. That is the most haunted doll of all time. You know when people comment on TikTok videos and they're like, I claim no negative energy. I claim no Philip. No Philip whatsoever. I claim from this video.
Have you guys ever seen that one TikTok account, Zillow Gone Wild, that posts the weirdest houses that they come across on Zillow? But sometimes they're a little creepy. Yeah, well, what I'm about to show you is going to put all of them to shame. This video is from a creator named Chase who found a haunted house on Zillow. And no, that's not an exaggeration.
This little gem is in Statesville, North Carolina. It's like 2+ acres. Thought I'd give it a look. Take a closer look though. So again, you're like, quite lovely. Not bad. This is the front door. Sure, it like needs some work here and there, but A-okay so far. Until I gave pause and was like, what's this? And no, this isn't a stunt. It's an actual Zillow listing. And someone reached out to the agent, and this home has since been, it's on the market. It's like 1,500 square feet, 2+ acres, like 3 rooms, 1 bath for $160,000. I guess it comes with an extra occupant. I don't know, but she confirmed this was not a person. This isn't a stunt. This isn't someone else like peeking out.
Of course it's in North Carolina. Of course it's haunted. What else did you expect? But yeah, apparently that's not a real person. They do look very strange in this. Like they don't look like there's any color to them, but pretty much everything beyond the window looks a little bit gray washed to me. If it is a marketing stunt, hey, I mean, you're gonna attract the right buyer who wants to live in a creepy, spooky, haunted house, but I don't really get that from this. If it is really paranormal, I mean, that's one of the craziest pieces of evidence I've ever seen. It's very, very crisp. Something about the face also looks a little bit distorted to me. So then this is a video from a TikToker named Spooky.scoundrel who posted a clip from an Estes method ghost hunting session that she had in the Old Angel Inn. And apparently in this video, they're going to be talking to a very rude 200-year-old ghost.
If you can see us, how many fingers am I holding up?
Enough.
Okay, but like, what's this number? Okay, but seriously. Okay, but like, what's this number?
What the?
There's this one.
What a?
I don't like you. You're being very mean to me.
What the f are you talking about?
Look, I'm just trying to know if you can see us.
The funniest part about this to me is that frickin' cat ball, man. You do not understand, unless you have gone ghost hunting with one of those things, how hard it is for them to go off. I always want them to go off when I'm ghost hunting. They never do. And of course it goes off right as like this ghost is just roasting the hell out of them. Every video I make, I have that one TikTok, the one TikTok that caused me to sit down and press record. And today, this is that TikTok. From a TikTok named Fairilyfrances. There is no way I can set this up for you. You genuinely just have to see it yourself.
Stop! Is somebody there? I'm freaking out. What the hell? Why is it sitting up like that? That's so weird. I got up off the couch. What is going on?
Maybe something is underneath it, but if there is not, that is genuinely one of the scariest paranormal videos I have ever seen. But as this poster says in kind of like the captions of this video, their dog wasn't freaking out or anything like that. So if it is a spirit, it has to be one who was at least around a lot and hopefully had no bad energy. And the poster says that they spent 20 minutes after this trying to get the blanket to stand up like that again, and they could not. Can you imagine walking into your living room and your little friendly household ghost has just decided to go full on horror movie with you, hiding underneath a blanket? Like, come on guys, it's 2025. Like, get with the modern day haunting times and get away from the blankies. This next TikTok may just show a haunted statue. It comes from a user named Spooky.mane and it's captioned, "Watch its eyes. Tell me I'm not tripping." Now here's what's really weird for me. The first few times I watched this, granted it was a little bit late at night. I pulled this video, it says at 9:41 p.m. last night. So I was sleepy, keep that in mind. But the first few times I watched this, I could have sworn that yes, I did see the eyes move. It looked like the eyes went down as the camera went down and almost followed it. Now that I watch it and even slowing down the footage, I don't see that at all. Please tell me what you think, because I'm telling you, I saw its eyes move clear as day yesterday, to the point where in this video I was gonna be like, it's probably edited or it might be edited or whatever. I don't see them move at all now. It's really weird. However, in this video from Oscar Laredo 02, there is some eye movement that is very real, and it comes from Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. You can see clear as day the dog. I'm not familiar with their names. I certainly knew these characters when I was a child, except for Charles E. Cheese. They're all strangers to me now. But the dog, his eyes move. Like, one of the eyes moves over and snaps to the camera, which is weird because before they were going in totally different directions. Like, he was keeping an eye out for Selena. And then at the end, it looks like Chuck E. Cheese's eyes snap towards the camera as well. I guess it's really whether or not you think that the animatronics were still up and working, because that would of course explain the eyes moving. They're made to move, but nothing else about them is moving. And why is it just the eyes snapping towards this camera? It's so weird. I will never outrun My Little Pony horror, man, because this TikToker posted a video and basically they were working at a store late one night, like no one else is in there, and every time that they would turn their camera away from filming this little thing, this My Little Pony toy keeps laughing.
Watch, I'm gonna turn my camera away and you're gonna hear this stupid pony laugh.
Could it be motion censored? Maybe, but then why is only that one going off and none of the other ones? And also, there's no one and nothing in there. At first I thought maybe somebody was standing behind this, you know, moving it or doing whatever, but it looks like there's another one of these toys stocked behind it. You can't see any sign that somebody is back there doing this. I mean, it just looks like the toy starts going off. Like, why is it laughing? And ew, why did it do it the minute that he turned away? And where is this store so I can avoid it at all costs? Or go there. Actually, I probably would buy the one haunted one. You're literally joking me. Wait, this is so weird. I swear to you, I did not plan this. This is on my TikTok For You page right now, and it's another TikToker. I was opening this up to talk about the next one because I needed to see the person's username. This haunted doll, I'm sorry, I'm like flabbergasted. This haunted doll collector got her dolls the toy, like the My Little Pony toy.
When you get your haunted dolls in new toy.
Oh my god, Starla. Is that you? Girl, I think Rose is just like, this is way too childish for me. We're gonna sing Pink Pony Club and you touch the pony, okay? Pink Pony Club, I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club.
That is so weird. There's not even anything. I mean, it says the pony made me jump out of my skin in the second clip. But like, what are the odds of this random My Little Pony and no one in the comments is saying like, oh my god, that's the My Little Pony from this other guy's video. I think this one was posted first. Oh my god, wait, this is so creepy. Ew. I don't know how I feel about all that. Both the video, but also this weird My Little Pony. Is this a sign? I'm gonna move on from this now. That's really strange. This is from 6 Seanlee. POV, it's 3 a.m. and you just woke up to someone walking around your apartment.
So I was sleeping here. I had Phoebe just right here. She was like tucked between my leg and the cushion. I just turned this light on. But also, if you come to my kitchen, there are 2 separate string lights, right? So you're telling me 2 strands of overhead lights just burn out last night? Because this came back on. This one was already having kind of problems, but I never had problems with this set of string lights. It's flickering. You can see it flickering. So my entire apartment's dark, completely pitch black. I just turned on, obviously, my bedroom TV, but just pitch black, and I just hear shuffling all the way from the hallway to the office bedroom over there, back to the hallway, behind me, behind my head. Here, stopped. That's when I was like, what the f? All the way over to my bedroom. The second I heard it get like here, I jumped off my couch. Phoebe took off. And I'm looking around in the darkness like this, and there's just a whole lot of nothing. So
That is so terrifying. The way he was describing it was just giving me chills. But I have to say, like, initially I was like, well, maybe the string lights aren't like that crazy of a thing. Like, I feel like these little neon lights, I've had them for years and years, and they've kind of gone out at different times, even though I always only really use them at the same time. But also, if you bought things around the similar time, maybe they'd burn out together. But the coincidence of that happening and then this just doesn't seem like much of a coincidence to me. If you want to see some creepy ghost photos, go no further, because this TikToker finally captured the tall man at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. Now, I was a little skeptical going into this, and they had to like pretty much freeze frame it for me, but yeah, there is a tall man in that image when apparently there was no one there. Now, I did a little Googling because I was curious about this shadow man. Apparently, he is said by some sources to be 10 feet tall and capable of crawling on the ceiling. This Redditor actually captured the apparition on camera, and I think this is a really clear one too. Maybe not as solid as the other one, but that almost makes it weirder because it's translucent. It's captioned, taken in the 2nd story shadow hall where they report a 7-foot tall shadow figure. This was taken at the end of the night. There was one other guy with me and he was in front of me to the left. He had the flashlight, so there's no way the shadow was either of ours. I'm seeing conflicting heights. I'm gonna choose to believe 7 feet. He looked much taller in the other image. Perhaps he lies about his height, just like men in real life.
If you don't believe in ghosts, stop what you're doing because I guarantee I will change your mind before the end of this video. Behind me is a picture that I took in 2010, and in my opinion, it is one of the best paranormal photos ever taken. If anyone else had taken this picture, I truly would have never believed that it was not photoshopped. I would be convinced that it was fake and that the person who took it was a liar.
So TikTok user Heyitsbellz sets up this photo for us. It's her and a couple of friends one night, and they're just goofing around, and they end up locking one of their friends out of the car. This friend jumps on the windshield as like a joke, you know, like don't drive away without me. And so Bells snaps a picture. She doesn't even realize that anything is weird about it until she posts it to Facebook later, and someone calls out that there's something in the mirror behind her.
Right here on the passenger seat is my friend Lindsay. She has blonde hair. This is all relevant, I promise. Right here in the shotgun seat is my friend Valerie. She had brown hair. And then I'm sitting in the very back in the middle with my brown hair. And then you can see the outline of our friend Brittany. She had jumped on the windshield. So now I'm going to turn your attention to the rear view mirror. You can see the top of my friend Lindsay's head, her strawberry blonde hair, as she was turned to the side looking at my friend and laughing. Now I'm going to zoom in and I want you to take a closer look. Here we are zoomed in. Again, you can see her head right here, the whole outline. You can even see her little wispy stray hairs. Now look directly behind her head and tell me who is the man sitting behind her with the blonde hair, the defined brow bone, the eye divot, and the nose. I was sitting in the back seat in the middle with no one else back there. And here it is outlined if you're having trouble seeing it. Again, this picture is 14 years old, and at this point, I have literally shown it to hundreds of people, and I wouldn't be surprised if thousands have seen it. This has truly become a picture that so many of my friends and family know about, and they'll share it with their friends and family. It's been passed around a lot. It's been sent into paranormal investigators. I have never been able to get a logical explanation as to what it is that we're looking at.
She goes on to say that she's literally sent this image to paranormal investigators and that one of them told her it was just a headrest. What? That's a headrest? Really? I would literally be more inclined to believe it was the spirit of Eminem himself in this car than believe that was a headrest. Like, I get pareidolia. I get like seeing things where there's nothing. That is a head. It's crazy because, like she said earlier, this is one of those stories where like you hear about it and you're like, no way, is that real? Like, that has to be explained. But the fact that like it's been this photo that's been passed around all this time, like a, hey, do you believe in ghosts? No, want to see this image? I love that. It almost is like your own little built-in urban legend, you know? And I think it's a ghost. I mean, based on the way that she's telling this story, I sure as heck don't think that was someone who was there. So Rachel Parkinson 5 and her family were just staying in an Airbnb one night when they noticed something a little off there about the kitchen counters. Okay, they weren't looking quite right. And what did you know? It pulls open and yeah, it's a secret door. Of course it's a secret door. Why would it not be a secret door? However, this is an Airbnb, okay? This is already just giving insane barbarian vibes. The best you can hope for is that it was a really bad design choice. However, in the next video, they do go down there.
Okay, let's go.
Why are we doing this?
Oh my god.
Okay, who's going first? I got the line.
I actually hate this.
Wait, I feel like
Wait, hold on. Okay.
Wait, I feel like I need to be second because.
No, because okay. I'm not letting go of her hand.
Oh my god. What the? Yum. You're so brave. Oh my god, you're so brave. What is that?
What? No,
what is that?
At the end of that video, there is a mattress on the ground and a blanket. So just barbarian then. However, in a third video, they give the actual tour, and what is down there actually kind of just looks like a bunker.
Well, what if we get locked though? Don't I need to stay up here?
Yeah, someone's out there.
Okay, well I'm filming, so does someone make sure that no one runs and locks up?
Well, the glasses down here and some extra bowls. Fabulous. They really
What a waste of space.
See, I told you it wasn't scary.
Okay.
It's still scary, but do we all feel better? Yeah, I do actually. Okay. That was very concerned. I was like,
There's no mattress or anything.
No.
Oh my god, that was terrifying.
If you're confused about the mattress, they said in the caption that they were kind of just messing with people. They had no idea their first video was going so incredibly viral. And they just they said chucked a mattress down. And yeah, we're just kind of rolling with barbarian vibes. So that was very creepy. Good on you. But it's crazy that the actual space is just as strange. I mean, I have to assume it was just a bad renovation choice, but not even because it swings open. So I guess it can totally be in use regularly. I don't know. Still giving barbarian. There's a TikTok page for this place in Iowa called Malvernmanor. It's said to be one of the most haunted places in Iowa, and recently a video from the page went viral that probably proves that.
Could you ding the bell for me?
Oh, thank you.
It was so quick, and while there are other like paranormal videos on the account, I'm very curious if anyone has ever been to this place before. Because as of now, it's just going on to the never-ending list of paranormal locations that I want to visit in my lifetime. Now, this video from Jules Alexis is a little darker. So I'm getting ready to work at the funeral home and I hear a laugh. I was by myself. It's close to 1 a.m. and I had been up since 6 a.m. so I wasn't sure if I had really heard what I heard until I watched the video. It definitely sounds like a creepy laugh in the background there. I have to imagine that a funeral home would be one of the most haunted places ever. I feel like I have heard so many, and I mean so many paranormal stories from them. And of course it makes sense because it's a place that has seen so much death. But truly, that is some horror movie material. A TikToker named Stinkykini was just going through some vacation photos when they realized that there was an uninvited guest in the background of one of them. The video is captioned, "Going through my disposable camera photos from my Mexico trip. Who is that?" And as you can see, it looks like there is a fourth person in this photo. Now, she goes on to say this was the hotel room and it was just me and my 3 friends. And if it's just her and her 3 friends and someone's taking this photo, then everybody's accounted for. So who is that? What is worse is when you zoom in and you like turn your brightness up substantially, you can see it is the most harrowing face you've ever seen in your life. I don't think this is the case of like a shadow or something being cast. And actually, I mean, if this is real, this is one of the craziest pieces of paranormal footage I've ever seen. And the fact that it comes from a disposable camera as well kind of like, you know, negates the whole editing thing. I don't know. It literally looks like something out of a horror movie. My God, I feel like this photo needs to be like in a museum or something if it's real. That's crazy, right? I'm not like overreacting. This is a genuinely crazy photo. I feel like I've seen a lot of like scary paranormal photos or whatever, and I've never seen one with that much detail to it. What I do have for you is some real weird Ring camera footage. Now I know what you think when I say that, like, oh, ghost caught on Ring camera. No, this is something much stranger.
It's you. I see you.
Now that gives me chills every single time that I listen to it, and I've watched this video so many times. The poster did make an update saying Ring camera update, so I went and changed my Ring password and nothing has happened since the original video, but I'm still very creeped out, wondering how long they were watching and what they saw, and why they did it. Hopefully changing the password fixes it. Thank you to everyone that helped me with info on what to do. This account came online only to post these 2 videos and has never posted again, so it could be possible that it was a hoax, but if it was real, I don't think it would be that unlikely because things like this happen all the time. I was just watching a true crime video about a situation where a baby was being talked to through like a baby monitor, and it was like a man like calling her horrible words, this baby horrible words, and telling her to wake up. Like this kind of stuff happens and you have to be really careful with devices like this. If some kind of camera or whatever comes with a preset password, make sure you change it and change it regularly. Scary times we're living in, y'all. Scary times. And on that note, there's actually this TikTok from Waterdogpools saying that your Ring cameras may just be hacked as well. And there's some pretty important info here.
Ring has had a data breach and they are not telling people, because I had my Ring cameras hacked on May 28th. Go to your Ring app, open it up, go to the control center on the side, like hit the 3 lines at the, I think it's the top left, go to control center, go to authorize client devices. Go to that list. Do you have any anyone that logged in on the morning of May 28th, early in the morning. Mine's like 8:57. My friends on the West Coast are like in the 5 o'clock hour. Every one of my friends that has a Ring camera has this login. If you have someone from May 28th or you see someone on that list, your device has been compromised. You need to delete all of those off of there. Contact Ring if you want, change your email, all of that. Because if you have this, someone has been watching you inside of your home since May 28th. That's exactly what happened to me last night. Fortunately, the person was stupid enough to text me and start harassing me through there, and then I was able to put the puzzle pieces together and say my Ring camera got hacked. But after talking to my friends, all of theirs had the same thing. So obviously Ring had a breach and they are not telling people. So open your app, Control Center, Authorized Client Devices, see what's on May 28th, because Ring is being awfully silent about this.
While I don't know much about this hacking, I do know that things like this happen all the time. I've literally heard of websites where you can just go and like see unsecure webcams and security cameras and stuff like that, all because people did not change their factory settings password. So yeah, just be careful out there. A TikToker named Hauntedhangoutpodcast recently posted what she believes could be a real image of the Black Dahlia, who supposedly haunts the Hollywood Biltmore Hotel.
This photo was taken by Jenny Myers-Sane, who is staying at the Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles. Now, the Biltmore Hotel is allegedly haunted by the spirit of Elizabeth Short, also known as the Black Dahlia, who was murdered in 1947. The last confirmed sighting of Elizabeth Short before her body was found was at the Biltmore Hotel. Guests have described encountering a female spirit with pale skin, dark hair, and she's wearing either a black or gray 1940s style dress. So I'm just gonna show you now what's in this photo. What do you guys think? Do you think this is Elizabeth Short? Let me know in the comments.
Now, I will say normally, with grainy photos like this, I tend to say that's just the camera doing something funky, okay? But this really does look like a person. Now, could that just be a person in the hallway? Maybe, but I kind of see it. And I don't talk too terribly often about true crime here on my channel. It is something that I actually do like watching true crime videos and documentaries and stuff, but I find that for me, when I get really, you guys know, I really, really want to get deep into topics, and I get so bummed out doing true crime. I think I am too depressed of a human being to do that in my free time. We're already barely holding it together over here, okay? So I cannot introduce that into my life. But I will say that the Black Dahlia, in the case of the Black Dahlia and Elizabeth Short, is one of the most fascinating true crime cases I've ever heard. And everything I've ever learned about it has just made me sadder. She was only 22 years old. And while I haven't had exactly too much experience at the Biltmore myself, I've heard a lot of paranormal stories. So is that her in the photo? Maybe, maybe not. But it is a tragic, tragic case nonetheless. Now, this next video, a lot of you have probably seen at this point. It's of this woman's house, and she's just recording while her drawer in her kitchen opens and slams shut over and over and over again. Now, this was a quick video, and a lot of people said, girl, that's a poltergeist. You really need to get your house cleansed. This is not something to play around with. She was liking a lot of those comments, but also a lot of people were trying to kind of explain it away. And I think she did her best to try to dispel everyone's debunking.
So for everyone in question about the drawer and cabinet opening on its own, one, my kids were in bed, my husband was at work. We do not have any animals. We don't have a cat, dog, fish, gopher, nothing, right? So I'm gonna show you the cabinet in the drawer and where the fan was the other night. I was sitting on the couch watching TV. Kid's in bed, husband's at work. This starts happening for maybe 50, 60 seconds, and then I start videoing. So the fan's here. It's blowing this way, across the top of the cabinet. Cannot feel the airflow down here. If you come right here, you open the drawer, okay, and everybody was talking about the light. Well, the light going into it, we have a light right here above it, okay? So the light from it was that light right there. So you have to open it. You really have to push to close it, okay? So let's open it to where it was the other night. bump it, bump it. It's not going unless you slam it. So it was like the other night, right?
And this one is weird because the logical explanations aren't explaining anything, and it's not doing it by itself otherwise. So is there something that I'm missing here, or is this truly a case of an incredibly haunted home? Because right now, I'm leaning towards the latter. It doesn't seem like there are any more videos on the situation, but I will be keeping up with this creator just in case she has more to say. This next video is what nightmares are made out of. It's from a poster named Miss.g.teaches, and one day she gets a text from her dad that says, "I spit on your grave." Out of character from her father, she says, "What?"
So I texted back this morning. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is what his text messages show. Like, this is me saying that. I sent a question mark. But this is where the "I spit on your grave" would come from him. It's not there. So I'm like, oh my god, he's messing with me. Like, he's trying to trick me. So we're going back and forth. And he's like, "Are you messing with me?" I was like, no. Like, there's no way for me to make that text come up. "Are you messing with me?" He's like, "No." I'm like actually scared. Like, is someone planning to kill me? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna catch him in the act and like show him on my MacBook that he actually sent me that. These are my MacBook texts. There's no "I spit on your grave" from him.
This just makes no sense to me. I really don't have an explanation for it. I actually think this is one of the more disturbing videos I've ever seen come across my TikTok For You page, because I have literally nothing. It is so weird. But someone also said in the comments, once I got a text from my mom saying, "Open your window," so I did. No one was out there. I go to my mom's room and she was still asleep and the text didn't show on her phone. So maybe there's some sort of weird hacking thing that people can do to totally spoof a number. I know that's not the most unheard of thing. The thing that's like messing with my mind is it being in your text conversation that you already have with the real person, you know? Really weird. And I think honestly, maybe the scariest video in this compilation, but we still got a ways to go. So this first came to my attention on May 14th when I saw that you guys have been tagging me in multiple videos of people reacting to the fact that Annabelle was going on tour. I'm sure most of you know who Annabelle is, or at the very least are like familiar with the films based on her story, but the real Annabelle is actually a Raggedy Ann doll that has been considered quite haunted, maybe the most haunted doll of all time. Before she was in Ed and Lorraine Warren's possession, her former owners would claim that she would like stand up on her own, that she would literally move from room to room. And while at first her original owners thought that this was just a childlike spirit, later on Annabelle revealed herself to be a demonic, malicious entity. And this is a very rough story, okay? There's 1,010 videos on Annabelle, the haunted doll. I'm pretty sure I have one. But one tidbit I found really interesting is that while transporting her back to their home, Ed and Lorraine Warren claimed that Annabelle caused them to lose control of their car, and Ed had to reach into the back seat and grab the holy water. And no, I'm not joking. Annabelle is wild. Since then, she's remained in a wooden box in the Warren Occult Museum that is constantly blessed and has a gigantic sign on the exterior reading, "Positively do not open." However, earlier this month in May, in the box and all, Annabelle began a multi-state long tour with the New England Society for Psychic Research. Going to the website linked in the actual official tour account takes us to warrensconvention.com, seekers of the supernatural continuing the legacy of Ed and Lorraine Warren. And it all kicks off at the West Virginia State Penitentiary, where this video of Annabelle being unveiled and subsequent videos that followed went so insanely viral. We're talking like millions and millions of views. Because everyone was like, what do you mean Annabelle was moved from the Warrens Occult Museum when they've always said not to touch her? I'm not sure what exactly this interview is from, but I found this clip of Lorraine Warren. Now, Ed and Lorraine have both passed away at this point, but Lorraine gave this interview where she described Annabelle as the scariest thing that they owned. She didn't want to look at it for too long. She didn't want it to be touched. And now Annabelle is being transported across the country.
Don't ever touch anything, and if you do, let me know. This is the worst thing in here. It's that doll. I'm not gonna stare at it though.
And that's the one that's sort of depicted a little bit in this movie, correct?
Yes, it is.
And TikTok had a lot of opinions on this, understandably.
Hey, what the
Why did I just see a video of Annabelle being brought to the West Virginia State Penitentiary? Let me tell you something. It's haunted as hell here, okay? We didn't need that. Actually, I'm pretty positive there's like 5 movies and 27 books about why this is a horrible idea.
A lot of people making jokes here, but there were others who took this pretty seriously.
I have 2 questions. What did these prisoners do to deserve this? And how long do you guys think it's going to take for her to cause chaos? This is insane. Why would you move her? She was in Connecticut for a reason. Now she's in West Virginia. Oh, this wasn't on my 2025 bingo card, let me tell you.
Now why? Why would you take a cursed Raggedy Ann doll that's known for drop-kicking souls into the shadow realm to a facility that's already 97% ghost and one underpaid janitor named Earl? This is my cell. Not anymore. Yep, that'll do it. That'll do it. You do not have to worry about me. She's in there like she's doing time, but let's be real. She's not locked in there with them. They're locked in there with her. I'm not even convinced that they moved her. I think she walked. She probably walked up to the prison gates and was like, hey, I'm here to disrupt your entire afterlife. Do you by chance validate parking? And if you look this way, this is Annabelle. Please do not look at her, breathe in her direction, or even acknowledge her existence. We have lost 3 interns this week. I would rather fistfight a skinwalker in a Waffle House parking lot at 3 a.m. than spend 1 second in that penitentiary.
So everyone's making like reaction videos to this. Everyone's saying, you know, hey, maybe in 2025, like we have enough going on. Don't take Annabelle on the run. But as it turns out, this is not an isolated incident. In fact, as I understand it at least, Ryan Buell is also on this Annabelle tour. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Ryan, he was actually the host of Paranormal State, which is one of like the OG early mid 2000s ghost hunting shows. And Ryan explained that this is actually something Ed and Lorraine did regularly.
Hey guys, Ryan here. I'm in West Virginia State Penitentiary in Moundsville, West Virginia. Here with Annabelle, but I wanted to actually address a question I kept seeing in the chat, which is why on earth are you guys moving Annabelle, and what would Ed and Lorraine think of this? And I think there's some misconception there, misunderstanding, because Ed and Lorraine actually would travel around with the items from the museum, because they knew not everyone could come to Monroe, Connecticut to view the items. So back in the day, Ed and Lorraine would go to colleges and have like speaking events, and they would showcase some of the items. And then once a year for their Halloween event, they would actually bring Annabelle and some of the other items. The first time I actually met Annabelle was with Lorraine in Pennsylvania. Lorraine brought Annabelle to an event in eastern Pennsylvania so people could see the famous, infamous Annabelle. And they do this to educate the public on the dangers of the occult, talk about the case. And the reason why, Nesper, the group, still does this to this day is they want to carry on the legacy of Ed and Lorraine Warren. And 2, since the Conjuring movies came out, they can't bring people to the actual house in the museum anymore because it's in a neighborhood. So, decades ago, Ed and Lorraine used to host little events at their house. But now with the huge public interest, that's why the Nesper family, the Warrens family, occasionally allow the items to come out. So that way people can view them, they can learn about the dangers of the occult, learn about the legacy of Ed and Lorraine Warren, learn about the work.
So that answers that big question mark. Like, why are you doing this? This is unprecedented. Didn't Lorraine say not to touch it? And there were people in the comment section of that video saying, no, you are totally making this up, with responses to that saying, no, I met Annabelle the doll in like the 80s. Now, I really am excited to tell you guys about all of these accounts, but I feel like you are probably the most excited to hear about this first one. And that is the Aaliyah Mary account. Now, I assume her name is Aaliyah Mary because in the bio of her TikTok, it says Instagram Aaliyah Mary, but the actual TikTok account is Freet PLBWX1, which is quite a bit more of a mouthful. So we'll just call it the Aaliyah Mary account. And until October of this year, this account was an incredibly normal one of a woman just sharing her life, sharing her baby, her interests, etc. And then that would all change on October 15th. The description of this TikTok reads, "It breaks my heart to think that all this time I thought my daughter was just suffering from night terrors. Me and my husband started recording every episode for her doctor to review just so we can see what we've been dealing with." This was on Sunday. We've tried everything. Scented oils, lullabies, lights, keeping both our doors open so she knows I'm close. Anything that might help, but nothing has. I used to think it was something in her mind, but I'm glad to know it's not her. This is one of her night terrors. I caught it on video. All this time when I'd post videos asking, does someone know how to stop night terrors? Can someone please help? My daughter has been having night terrors. I guess I've been asking the wrong questions. We're packing our things, or at least have her stay away from her own room. My poor girl. So this was the video that was posted. This video makes me so sad. Like, I can understand this poor mom's frustration at this point. I mean, her daughter is screaming bloody murder. God, it is just so, it's genuinely so hard to listen to. And knowing that she might have been seeing something that was very, very real is terrifying.
I'm scared.
Scared? Are we scared, baby? Come on here, big girl. Come here, big girl. Come on, big girl. It's okay. There's the vent right there, baby. See? The vent pushes the door. You're fine, okay?
And poor mom must be so scared in that moment too, kind of like, wait, what just happened? But of course she has to keep it together and keep it calm for her baby who's already so terrified by what she thinks are night terrors, and maybe still could be. I don't fully know at this point, but I do know that what is about to happen is genuinely so bizarre.
If you're scared, just remember, baby Lenny's here, mommy's here, we're all gonna be together in the same house. It's gonna be okay. Let's go to bed. What's wrong, Cora? Sweetie, what are you afraid of? You're scaring me, honey. I don't see anything.
Dude, I have gotten chills every time I have watched this video. Yeah, so this video went viral like in two separate circumstances. It was uploaded twice. I don't know if on purpose. It has the exact same description box, so I think it may have just accidentally duplicated for some reason. And when I first saw this, I was pretty skeptical, I won't lie to you. Like, the blinds just snapping shut like that, I thought it had to be a hoax. It had to be something, especially like the account doesn't have any sort of profile photo or anything like that. But then I realized it does. It's just like the blank image of the TikTok profile photo, but it's a version of it with like a little bow on the head, so it's clearly intentional. But as I've continued to go through these videos, I don't think that this is a faked situation. It is so unsettling to hear this poor baby cry. You can tell this is a good mom who just wanted to get to the bottom of the situation. That's why she was filming in the first place. So it's not like, you know, why was she filming? But the videos that follow, I mean, they just really speak for themselves. The next day she posts this video. I watched this video back and forth and I still can't figure out how the windows did that. My 7-year-old had a night terror last night. She suffered for a while. Please believe what your little ones say. She came running into my room and I have never seen her cry this bad before. She was doing okay and sleeping in her room for a while till now. and keeping her away. And the description reads, the windows are not battery powered and you have to pull on the levers. They each have to close individually, which was what I thought, and why the fact that all 4 of them just snap shut like that is even weirder. The poster goes on to say wind maybe, but no breeze. It doesn't make sense. Now, since TikTok is filled with people who would be skeptical about this kind of thing, the original poster began to receive a lot of questions from people trying to debunk this situation, and it seems like she does her best to do so.
Her blinds do not have any remote or electronics. We just opened them back up so I could show you. You have to be physically standing by the blinds in order to close them like this. There is no wires or anything like that. There's no way this could be battery powered or anything. They just close on their own. And also, all 4 of them closed at the exact same time. There's no way that's possible because you have to touch it and close it like that. So the AC was not on when the door closed. It's very loud. And you can hear it coming from the vent. The air vent could not have pushed this door closed in that other video because the air was not on, the AC was not on.
In the description of this, the poster says, also, I realize I may have rationalized it like in the original video because maybe I was afraid to think it really was a ghost. I was also trying my best not to scare her by saying it is a ghost. Now, she's definitely keeping tabs on this room, but every time she goes in, it's like terrifying for her because she assumes these blinds are just gonna snap shut all over again. So this is a slightly longer explanation where she tries to answer, every question that people may have about the blinds.
So I'm coming into the room to show you the blinds, which I have opened back up to demonstrate how they are closed. It's not electronic, it's not battery powered, that's not creepy.
Ew. I haven't watched a lot of these later videos because I was like, oh, I'll react to them with you guys while doing another, get ready with me sort of video. I didn't realize the door just swung close again on its own. And we heard the AC in the last one. It doesn't sound like it's running.
Trying my best not to freak out. So to close these blinds, you have to touch it and close it like that. That is the only way to close these blinds. There are no batteries or remotes here at all. No wires. You have to touch it and you have to close it like this. And there's no way I could have done that since I was standing on the opposite side of the room. And there is no way I could have closed all 4 at the same time.
She also posted this video, so this was also from that night. As you can see, I was very traumatized. I was just waiting to see if they would close again. And here's what's crazy, is the account pretty much stopped posting after this. It wasn't like, a crazy amount of things were happening from this one video. It was the one night, apparently, when that door just closed again in one of the last videos, and that was really it. And that's also why I think it's real. I don't think that could have been pulled off with like a string or something. Could it have been editing? Of course, anything can be. But I don't even get the sense from the way that this person is posting, from the way that they're talking, that this is some sort of hoax or an attempt at like a fake creepy story. And I can't even imagine how scared she was in that moment. She's trying to help her daughter with these night terrors. She's not gonna like feed into this stuff if it is fake, like that would just be really damaging to her kid. And she was terrified because she screamed in that video and she was trying so hard to stay calm for her daughter. And I really do wonder if they ended up submitting this. They were recording it for the doctor, this like night terror. Did the doctor ever see this? What did they think of this situation? I simply have to know. Could it still be that her daughter was having night terrors outside of something paranormal? Of course, but what if they are induced by something paranormal in this home? And if it is something in this home, I don't think it's a good something. You know what I mean? I think that a baby that is wailing like that, crying like that scared, is not experiencing something that could even remotely be friendly or like benevolent. I think that is something dark and scary, and I really wonder like what happened from here. I went to her Instagram to see if there were any updates over there, but it is private, so if there are any updates, I can't see them. Overall, I think this is a truly terrifying situation and something that needs to be taken really seriously in every direction, of course, and it seems like the parents are definitely taking this seriously. It always just upsets me too when we see paranormal videos with kids involved, because it's like, why are you messing with the children? Just leave them alone. Anything that intentionally scares a child like that, like gets a kid screaming like that, I immediately am just like, you are not anything good. And like, I believe her when she says, you know, there are no remotes, there is no AI with this. I mean, it doesn't really line up for me. And again, it leads me back to whatever is in this house needs to not be around that poor kid. And I really do wonder where things are at now. I really hope that they're better. I hope this was like kind of a one-time event, maybe in addition to the night terrors, and they got all of it under control. But for now, that's kind of where I leave you. On a very different note, I came across this video from Dark Moose captioned, "Something's at the window."
She was just recording herself when this happens. A girl by the user Dualuba was recording a seemingly innocent video, responding to one of her comments asking her about her username. But little did she know something horrifying would be captured on camera.
He sentido que me parezco a Dua Lipa, pero desde que me corté el cabello siento que me parezco muchísimo menos a Dua Lipa. Y es que muchísima gente me dice que me parezco a la Dua Lipa del 2018 más o menos, que tiene como el cabello cortito. Y me puse a ver fotos y nada que ver. O sea, ella se ve increíble, tenía el cabello súper bonito y yo parezco... No sé, o sea...
As she explains, from her window, the lifeless figure of a woman with dead eyes can be seen, watching her. She doesn't notice and continues recording as the figure suddenly moves. The event was captured while staying the night in a cabin for her sister's birthday, as previously covered in the channel, where she saw something moving inside of an abandoned cabin. So could this terrifying figure be some sort of demented person, a demonic apparition, or just an elaborate ruse? Let me know what you think.
So of course this leads me to Girly Pop's TikTok account, right? Because that was really creepy. And Miss Girl is a very accomplished TikToker. I am so sorry. I was not familiar with your game, Queen, but you can see she has a whole playlist titled Terror. And a lot of her content now is stuff like this. It's just like TikTok trends that she'll do. Like, this is a copyrighted audio, so I can't play it, but she'll do them and then something creepy will happen. She'll have it in the background. And it's fantastic because people will check in on every single video to see if it's scary or not. Like, you can't tell based on the content or even based on the thumbnails and stuff sometimes. Okay, this one has a sensitive content warning, which is always when things end up being the creepiest. Yes! And man, is she doing well for herself. I mean, every single one of these videos just gets millions and millions of views. And I love it so much. I love seeing the girly pops doing spooky stuff. Like, kind of reminds me a little bit of the vibes of like Not Your Normal Kid Show even. Oh, we watched this one. So after seeing this, it's like clearly the person in the Dark Moose video, in the video that he talked about, is not like a random creeper behind her, okay? It is just her bit, and I love it, and it's very unique, and it's doing really, really, really well. But I thought I would just watch some of like the most popular and spookiest ones. I'm going immediately to all of the sensitive content warning ones. It's funny, the ones that end up getting flagged by talking about TikTok's systems. It's interesting the ones that get flagged, because this is totally innocent. This is not like sensitive content. It's just a diva and a diva off with herself. I won't watch every single video. Make sure to check out her account. As always, I'll have everybody listed in the description box. Oh, kitty. We'll watch one more. We'll watch this one. Sorry there's no audio for these either. I might put in some spooky music in the background because it's all copyrighted, but okay. Ooh, yes. I love that trope of taking the photo and then seeing something that's not really there. Yes. Yes. Wow, these are actually really good. They're very, very, very creative. Like, the ideas are fun, and clearly she knows how to go viral, you know? When is it going to be there? Oh, there it is. It's right behind her this time. Wow, that's going to be in the thumbnail for sure. That's a pretty creepy freeze frame. Anyways, thought I would talk about this a little bit because it's going viral, and this girl is really cool, and I will be following her. Oh, I love when people do spooky things on the internet. It makes me so happy. It keeps my job alive. I feel like we have to start out with this video from Morg's Hauntings, captioned, "This is the scariest thing that has ever happened to me."
Okay, Dad, she is fed and feisty. What are you doing, baby?
Oh my god, the little baby cow. She's so cutie.
Okay, so I fed her. I will feed the barn.
We got ourselves a good old-fashioned mimic, y'all. If you do not know, Morg is from the Appalachian Mountains and regularly posts about the terrifying paranormal things that happened to her.
Okay. 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 Okay.
It's in the car with her, y'all. It's time to burn the whole damn car down. I don't know what you do to get away from this thing at this point. This, like, mimic entity has been attached to Morg for literally years now. It used to disguise itself as her husband, and then it started showing up as her. She would hear her own voice calling to her. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh my god. Stop!
Yeah, so this thing is way too close for comfort here. And she posted these two following videos after that as an update.
So I can't get the car to start. I don't know what's happening. One of my tires is low or flat. I don't know. But we're just gonna stay in this car and keep it locked until he gets here. Because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what that was. And I don't know how my keys got out of the car. I don't know if someone's up here messing with me. I want to talk about what I saw in the barn, but I don't want to do it up here.
Yeah, so she wants to talk about what happened in the barn as well, of course, but, you know, it's like, do you want to bring attention to it right now? If it is something supernatural, which of course it seems like it is, I wouldn't know what to do either in her shoes.
Should have never came up here. Okay. 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 Oh, okay. They stopped. Do I call the police?
Girl, I don't know if even the police can solve this one. So then this is the final update.
It's around a half hour later. Eric finally got here and fixed the car. And he's heading out right now, and I'm about to be behind him. I don't know what he did to fix it, but it's fine now. My tire's fine now. He didn't have to do anything to the tire. I don't know what that was. But I showed him the footage. I was like, it said low or flat or whatever it said. But yeah, there's no code now, no nothing. I filmed a little bit more. I got a few weird sounds, a few weird things on camera. I might post them, I might not. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. But I don't know. I'm like too scared to drive. I'm tempted to just leave my car here and ride back with him, but don't want to leave my car here. Okay.
Wait, there's like 4 alerts just... Okay.
Yeah, whatever that thing is, it does not want her leaving that farm. And if you're unfamiliar with Morg, we featured her here on the scary side of TikTok so many times that if you watch these videos, I'm sure you've seen her before. While she does often post her own real paranormal stories, her followers' paranormal stories, stuff like that, she also will do little skits and sketches like this that are quite spooky in nature, but are not exactly like real paranormal evidence. So I thought that these were really creepy. There's a lot more to this saga as well if you want to go check out her account, but there's a lot of other videos you guys have tagged me in. I've been saving watching those all the way through literally for this video, and I have to say they did not disappoint. So this video, Mr. James Welsh himself tagged me in, which was so very cool. I'm such a fan of him. It's crazy he watches my videos. It's from a TikToker named Luke Lee, and his caption, "When your baby's camera goes off and you can see what you think is a little boy." So in this video, you can see there is a baby in a little crib and he's just stretching, he's doing whatever. But if you look to the left, you can see what looks as if it is another child come into frame. Now that wouldn't be anything strange except for that child was unaccounted for, not a child within the home. Now this person made a follow-up post saying where the spirit was on camera for the people asking, and there really wasn't anywhere for that person to go. And I guess if we're taking the word for it that this is the only child in this home, that is real creepy. It looks like there was this follow-up video. Not sure if this is anything paranormal, but our baby camera never falls down, and tonight it has. The only thing that has happened since the last video. Hashtag creepy. And there really haven't been any other posts since, so that would certainly seem paranormal to me, but not like the bad kind, I guess, of haunting. It would more so be like a child spirit, I guess, who's just curious about the other kid living in the home, you know, which is kind of a sad thought, but it is pretty clear. I don't know what else it could be. And that is definitely a person. I mean, if you zoom in, like there's this comment that says, "You're telling me that this doesn't belong to you," and it's like an enlarged screenshot, and it definitely looks like a person. You can see an arm, you can see a face. I don't know, that one is real weird. Now this next video comes from Whoa That's Strange, and if the comments are to be believed, might just show the rake on camera.
Y'all, a woman in North Carolina uploaded some crazy camera footage from outside of her house. This was taken in her backyard. She has one in her backyard, one on the side, other side, and the front of her house. And this thing was captured not only on her backyard camera, but on the side yard camera as well. They said they came home one night, they were turning into their driveway, and they saw something in the wood line. So they checked their cameras, and this thing showed up on their camera. At first I was like, that is a creepy looking person, and then I saw the side camera view. This thing runs, jumps on this little wall right here, and then runs away into the woods. And when you look at the proportions of this thing, it is not a human. I am not sure what this thing is, but it really makes me think about that North Carolina 911 call.
What kind of person is that? That is so creepy looking. Somebody in the comments specifically said it was Marcus the Worm, which did indeed make me giggle. It does look like some sort of creature, but not like any animal I certainly have ever seen. That doesn't mean it isn't one. It also doesn't mean it's not a person, but I'm with her. The proportions don't look like a person. But now I have to look up this 911 call. I feel like I might know what she's talking about. Okay, so apparently this is the original 911 call. I don't think that the video is related. It's just a person who uploaded the audio. The search is rake creature, so I do think this is what I'm looking for.
I'm driving on 210. I just crossed the Black River, and I thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road bleeding.
Okay, where are you at, sir?
I'm on 210. I just crossed the Black River. I'm heading towards 53E.
You saw a man standing on the side of the road?
What the?
What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
There's something in the back of my truck!
Oh my god, there's something in the back of my truck. A lot of people in the comments said this girl needs to get another job. Like the woman who's the 911 operator. I don't know if she's just extraordinarily calm in this situation, but like Man, that was guttural. Like, that's not human. Ooh, I'm already wondering if this was taken from somewhere, though. Like, is this an audio for something? It's so intense.
No, it's not in the road. It's in my truck. In the bed.
There's something in the bed of your truck?
Yes, ma'am. I just turned on my bed lights for my truck, and there's something in my bed.
Okay, sir, when you say something, what do you mean?
I just knocked it off of the bed of my truck and went over my roof.
Okay, what was it?
According to the CAD notes and the deputy reports, this thing jumped into the back of his pickup truck and began to actually beat on the top of the cab of his truck. You could actually hear something beating on the top of the truck. The caller stated that it was beating and scratching on the top of the cab of his truck. He actually stated that he was able to engage his bed light and was able to somewhat identify this object that was in the back of his truck. At some point, he was able to slam on his brakes, and the force of inertia actually threw this thing out over his hood and onto the highway.
Okay, so my search for the source of this took me all the way back to YouTube, and it comes from a channel called Carolina Crime Files. That was a real 911 call. When I heard it, I assumed it had to be like part of a scary TV show or something, like one of those reenactment channels or something. However, this channel, Carolina Crime Files, I will have them listed down below so you can go watch this full interview, talked to this guy, to the person who experienced it, and he explained exactly what he saw. This is crazy.
I guess I'll start from the beginning of the trip. I was coming up from Florida to visit my family. At the time I was going to a trade school down there, and when I was driving up here to where the incident occurred by the battlefield, it was already easily like well into the morning. I wasn't looking at my phone. I just know it was pitch black outside, and I had my window down because the AC wasn't working the best. And as I was coming around, there's a massive right curve right there before you cross the Black River, and then after that you have the battlefield. So on that massive black curve, as I'm coming around, I had just started the curve and I was about a third of the way through it, and I look over into the ditch on my right because I caught a quick glimpse of something, and as I take a further look, it looks like there's I'd say probably a 30-something-year-old man standing in that ditch wearing what looks like an old Civil War uniform, just covered head to toe in blood. And the uniform was torn as well. That threw me off because I didn't expect to see it at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
So clearly not like a reenactor, which would be the only logical, I guess, explanation for seeing something like that would be somebody recreating. Like, I know like a lot of the times there are people who will hold events and they'll do events like that, but it's like in the middle of the night, early into the morning, and he sees something like this. So that's why he called 911, he says. He goes on to say that it looked like this guy had like hit his head on something. So the blood was all coming down from his head.
I heard a massive bang in on my truck, and my truck bounced down from the rear like I was pulling a heavy trailer and I hit a pothole. Wow. And so I'm sitting there going, what the hell was that? Which I'm pretty sure you heard me yell, what the hell? I turned on my my bed light, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and all I saw was this white, like snow white face right up against my rear windshield. Like it was looking into my truck trying to see what it could see. It had shallow sunken eyes. It had no nose. Just think if you took skin and put it on a human skull and stretched it thin.
That is absolutely terrifying. This is so crazy, you guys. I know I literally just said this, but I cannot believe this is a real 911 call. I feel like paranormal 911 calls are something I look for quite frequently, and they're very hard to find. But this is like a real one seemingly, and this guy has a whole backstory about it. And like, what was he seeing? Was it something trying to get him to stop, like so that this creature could do whatever it was gonna do? It clearly jumped onto his truck. Or was it paranormal and then that was unrelated and it was just something like lying in wait? I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I didn't realize until afterwards that I had said that's not human on the call, because it was just the first thing I started screaming. For a second, when I looked at the speedometer before I slammed on my brakes, I was doing maybe 80. And I slammed on those brakes with all my might, and I went from like 80 miles an hour down to like 35 in just like a couple of seconds. And all I see is this, just this super scrawny long body just fly over my truck in a ball rolling.
Okay, so the way that the story ends is that he basically like goes to the nearest gas station. He's like flooring it, going 90 to get there. When the state troopers eventually come, he is like, you know, he tells them what happened, and they look at the top of his car, and there are indeed scratch marks on top of the car, as if something had been trying to get in or was holding on to his car the way he said there was. Anywho, this is a weird one. I went from like thinking there's no way that's real, it's a hoax, it's from like one of those, you know, those like videos that are like alien encounters or something like that. I mean, I don't really think that's one of them, but like one of those reenactment shows where people will tell their stories and then they'll have actors reenact things. That's literally what I was convinced this was gonna be. And to find out that it's not is just eerie. Eerie beyond all belief. So did he actually see a rake? The rake? I mean, the rake is like a creepypasta, man. It's not real. So what was that thing? Like I said earlier, sometimes the virality of these scary side of TikTok videos surprises even me. And boy, did this post from Appalachia Decay go viral. Took this video to show my husband when he was at work, when I was hearing what I thought were rats in the basement. And as our poster takes us into the basement, wow, that is one heck of a door. The caption is "Love living in a 200-plus-year-old farmhouse. Still don't know what this is." Many people in this comment section were so proud of our poster for actually surviving the horror movie in this situation and getting the heck out of that basement. Like, good on you, girl. Took us down there. The second you heard a weird noise, you were out. However, this video ended up getting a whopping 53 million views. And so, naturally, there were a couple of follow-ups. She doesn't go alone. She takes her cute, furry little friend down for moral support. This dog is maybe the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. But in response to a comment reading, "We need to see what's behind the door ASAP," she gives us this little tour.
All right, y'all. Back in the basement. My husband's not home yet, but I figured we'll get this door open, see what we're working with. Come on. So these are the steps that lead out. I don't know what that is, but if you look, it's been sealed from the inside and the outside. So I don't know.
Man, this house is real freaking creepy looking. I mean, just like the stairs leading up to the, what would that be, like a storm cellar door? Whatever it is, it's been sealed from the outside and the inside, so there should be no way that like wildlife can get in and out of this little area. I think seeing behind the door makes it so much stranger because it's just like this set of stairs, and the rest of the basement is no less creepy.
We're just gonna close this back up. And I'll take a second and show you guys the rest of the basement too. It looks a little bit more normal. There's our furnace. There is just the back of the basement. We had a wall here, but we took that down. There's another room back here with some old doors. So, not really much to see back here. Definitely creepy, but I don't know. I don't know what happened with the door. We're not sure what that was. At this point, we're kind of thinking just raccoons. Maybe mouse, maybe rats. But yeah, this is the rest of the basement.
However, some people had noticed like something on these stairs that looked a little abnormal.
Back in the basement again. All right. A lot of you are asking, God, about on the steps. And a lot of you said it looked like a lot of different things. It's covered in spider webs. It's this. It's this. Piece of wood, petrified, 1 million years old. I don't feel great touching it. Oops. I'm gonna be honest with you, but that's all it is. Nothing crazy. We actually, when we moved in, we had a lot of pieces sitting up here, and I don't know why. There's a lot of just unexplained things at this house.
As it turns out, this basement is kind of just filled with odds and ends, which makes sense for a very old house. My house is half that age. It's like 100 years old, and there are just the weirdest things that I am still finding around it and in it to this day. That final update was back in the beginning of October, and our poster hasn't really showed anything else. And I think that tells me two things. Number one, that if it is still happening, it's so routine at this point, she doesn't need to make a million follow-ups. But also that number two, the fact that it's not dragging out any further than this tells me that this likely was not just a post to gain some notoriety and attention. This isn't a person who posts a ton. I don't think that this was like a hoax or anything, but I'm also not 100% sure if it is paranormal. It would not surprise me if it was paranormal just because of like how old the house is. And look at that basement. I mean, come on. If anywhere is going to be haunted, it would be that place. But much like the first rabbit hole we kind of went down, I'm very happy that this one does not seem to be a real person, because that is much scarier than a ghost. If you have watched this all the way through, did you take any breaks? Did you clean your house? Did you fall asleep? Please let me know down below. I'd love to know how you enjoyed this video. But for now, that is it for today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you did enjoy, go and give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A special thank you to my subscribers who are members of the channel. If you want to join the channel memberships and get extra members exclusive perks like members only videos, you can click that little join button somewhere around the screen. We would love to have you. An extra special thank you to my VIP loves for their continued and generous support of the channel. I love and appreciate you all very, very much. I love you all very much. Thank you for making a very difficult year for me so much better just by being here. I can never tell you how much it means to me, but hopefully these videos give you a little idea of how much I appreciate and love you all. Okay, that's it. I will see you very soon in my next video, and until then, have such an amazing day or night, or I don't know. How long did you watch this? Did you go on a plane? Like, I really do want to know. Okay, love you so much. See you later. Bye.